Now, the first game of the season at Wrigley Field, the Cubs lead the Brewers 3-1 in the fifth. ESPN's Buster Olney says, watch out for the Blue Jays this season.
They look so great at the end of last season. They have an unbelievable lineup. They're going to bash teams into submission. I do think the Braves have a chance to be the first team since those 98 to 2000 Yankees to go back-to-back. It's a very underrated team, even though they're the champion.
Buster Olney on Key J and Max. Pirates third baseman Key Brian Hayes will get an 8-year, $70 million contract pending a physical. And two more coaches are joining former Dolphins head coach Brian Flores' lawsuit against the NFL for racial discrimination.
When you're trying to hire and fill open jobs, the searching, screening, and interviewing can become its own job. You need Indeed. Their powerful hiring platform makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire quality people. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios.
That's right.
And off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. I'm Matt.
Love you, Matt.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
You so. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Ton to do today. Glad to have you aboard with us, and we're going to start the show by jumping right over to Stark Vegas. LSU coach Jay Johnson, good enough to join us here as the Tigers are getting set to practice there in Starkville. Getting ready for a 3-game series against the defending national champs tomorrow at Duty Noble Field. Coach, we appreciate it. Thanks as always. How are you?
Good, Matt. How you doing?
I'm doing very well, thanks. Not your first rodeo in Starkville. 2016, the Starkville Super Regional, your first year at Arizona. You guys went down there and won that to punch your ticket to Omaha. I'm curious how different the place looks than you remember 6 years ago.
Yeah, I'm anxious to see it. Have not been back since then. They did the new ballpark shortly after and kind of made it the standard of new college baseball stadiums. I'm sure the commonality will be there was probably about 14,000 people each game for those two games, and I'm sure we'll have the same with the Tigers coming to town this weekend.
Coach, is there any key to the uniqueness of winning in that particular ballpark?
Yeah, I think it's just blocking out the external and focusing on what the player's job is to be successful. And if you let other elements come into play, like the fans, like the environment, that's what makes it a home field advantage. But the ball's the ball, the play is the play, the at-bat's the at-bat. And so it's just important for our players to focus on what they do well and be aggressive. I think that's probably the main message, is to attack and be aggressive. And if you do that, you can tip the game in your favor and make the crowd and the environment less of a thing. And that's what I'm hoping our players will do.
It would make a lot of sense offensively as well. Obviously, everybody knows Landon Sims started this year, just a great talent. He's done with Tommy John. As you study Mississippi State, how much has losing him impacted that team and what Chris Lemonis is trying to do?
Well, he's a great pitcher. There's no question about that. I mean, he was key on their run to the national championship, maybe one of their most important pieces to that. And I think probably for them, it's not just the pitching contribution. He's a special competitor as well, and pitched with an edge and breeds confidence in everybody when that dude's standing on the mound. And so, tough break for him. Don't like to see any pitchers go down in that regard. You know, with that being said, everybody has injuries. It's part of the deal, and, you know, nobody cares. So you just got to kind of move forward and go with it.
Yeah. Chris Lemonis was asked about potentially shuffling his rotation. Sounds like they're going to stand pat. So you guys are likely to see Preston Johnson tomorrow. He had a bit of a rough outing against Arkansas, but he's a big righty. What can you tell us about Preston Johnson when you and your staff have scouted him?
Yeah, good 4-pitch guy. Throws his fastball for a strike, has a curveball and a slider and a change. Tries to get you off balance and then speeds you up with the fastball. Locates well. Good competitive guy. Just a tick below pro baseball, probably why he ended up in college, and somebody that's probably pitching in a heavier role than maybe they anticipated. Losing Landon Sims, and it's a tough go, when you're asked to do more than you're capable of from the mound in the SEC. When you think about all the great lineups that we're all trying to get out week in and week out, it's a tough go. But he's got 4 pitches. He's a competitor, has the ability to strike out, has a good number of strikeouts on the year, so he'll be a good challenge for us.
Jay Johnson's with us. You kind of led off talking about wanting your offense to be aggressive. I would assume that that's the approach offensively against this Mississippi State staff. They are starting 3 righties. You've also talked a lot about not wanting to be too right-handed in your lineup. Does that go into play at all this weekend when you're filling out the lineup card, maybe looking to get more lefties in the lineup?
Yeah, for sure. And, at this point in time, you're going to have something you have to kind of cover up. When you're 29 games into the deal, nothing's going to be perfect. We don't quite have that balance of speed, power, solid hitting skills. With that being said, I love our offense, and you have to make the decisions more based on offense versus defense, and everything goes into that. The matchup against the pitcher, and if you're playing great defense, you could just look at, hey, this is how we want to set or stack the lineup versus the starter, and for their bullpen to make some difficulties for matching up there. With that being said, we obviously have to take into account the defensive part of it. Where are they going to hit the ball? Who do we want the ball in the hands of? And that's obviously part of the game too. So it's kind of finding that balance. Offensively, you want to try to get it to where we can get some big run innings and kind of separate the score so you're not hostage to one mistake defensively. But to make sure that you can handle the ball, you got to have guys in the right spot as well. So still kind of working through that. Not where I would like to be, not where we will be eventually, but that's where we are today. And so it's important that our staff looks at it and we get it right.
You've said often that your guys are – everybody knows that the defense has not been up to the par that anybody expects, but that you said your guys are capable. And, look, we've seen K. Doty be a good defender. We've seen Jordan Thompson be a good SEC shortstop and infield. Certainly these guys are capable. So I get asked this all the time. I'll just ask you, what do you do? How do you work with those guys to try to get them to play better than they are right now? And I don't mean to single out those guys, obviously, but the team in general.
Yeah, you work, and I'll take yesterday's practice, for instance. It's a fine line because Jordan started every game, Cade started every game, Jacob Berry started every game. And, they're going to have to be in condition to do this. They all want to be pro players, and you play 141 games in the minor leagues. But, balancing out, taking care of their body. But at the same time, we have to get reps right now because we have to improve. So what we try to do is map out what is the one tangible thing that we can do that can translate immediately, and that is work on making the routine play. And then take it a step further, what type of plays do we anticipate happening? Pull side ground balls, with an aggressive offense, which that's what we're doing this week, and getting them in position with some of the defensive shifts and making plays out of the shift. So you blend that with what I would call some day one fundamentals of these guys have to get down, they have to play lower, they have to get their eyes close to the ball, and they have to follow their throw. So, they were gassed yesterday. It was a quiet bus ride. We worked hard for 2.5 hours, and that's just the way I'm going to do it until we get it right.
Coach, I got a couple more for you, and your time much appreciated. One, I know you get asked about the rotation all the time, so I'm not going to ask you specifically about that. What I will ask you, though, is when do you and the staff make the decision, you and Coach Kelly, I would presume, about how you're going to approach Friday or the entire weekend?
Yeah, it's a one game at a time approach. What's best to win the game in front of us? And for the last couple of weeks, we felt like it was Blake. He had a good preseason camp, good first few outings. And, even last week, he did a pretty good job. The one tough part was we were at 90 pitches into the 5th inning, and that's when we had the difficulty of didn't make some plays, with Trey at first, Cade at short, and that inning spiraled on us. But it's pretty tough when you're at 104 pitches in the 5th inning on Friday, and that's going to stretch you. We were fortunate to get Bryce in there. But it's all hands on deck to win tomorrow. This is the first time in about 2 weeks where we're completely rested going into the weekend. So everybody has had full rest and should be at their best coming out of the pen. So when you talk about Gervais, Reiselman, Collins, Cooper, the guys that have kind of spearheaded that attack out of the pen, everybody's ready to go. And that's a good situation to be in because it allows us options to match up and really take it one game at a time this weekend.
Those Tuesday rainouts are something you didn't have to deal with in Tucson too often, I would imagine. But it does compress things. All right, last thing before you go. I'm fascinated by this number. Mississippi State is second to last in the conference with a 270 batting average. But they're fourth in runs scored. How?
A lot of home runs.
Okay.
Short field. I think they've hit 50-some home runs. That number was the first thing that jumped out at me and looking at the stats. They have strong guys, and, hey, I mean, they set the bar high. I mean, they are the national champion. There's kind of this narrative like they're not a good team. I'm not buying into that at all, and I don't buy into that with one program in the SEC. So we're going to have to play well to come out of here with some wins, and we're ready to do that.
Jay Johnson joined us from Starkville. Coach, sincerely appreciate the time. I know it's a compressed schedule, so thanks for squeezing it in. We appreciate you.
You got it. Talk to you soon.
All right, be well. That is Jay Johnson there joining us from Starkville. We appreciate it. LSU and Mississippi State. He's right. State's a good team, just like LSU's a good team. State got a very unfortunate break with Landon Sims. It's not that dissimilar from what happened last year with LSU and Jaden Hill. You thought Jaden Hill was going to be your Friday night horse. You were going to give that dude the ball every Friday night. He was going to get you 7 strong innings. And then all of a sudden, that dude's gone, and now you're in shuffle mode. I think Lamonis is in that mode right now at Mississippi State. But you just heard Coach say it. They hit a ton of home runs. They do it a little differently, but they're having to do it a little differently. But that's still a good team. That's a hard place to go play. But both LSU and Mississippi State are fighting a little bit. Keep this in mind, y'all. LSU has won 12 of the last 14 series against Mississippi State. For whatever reason, I know State got 2 or 3 last year, but for whatever reason, as good as that program historically has been, LSU has just really done well against Mississippi State. So see if they can go turn that trick again and take a series on the road in Starkville. All right, it's after further review. Quick break. It is Major League Baseball opening day. Pretty fired up about this, man. Our guy, the Langer, Alex Lange, former Tiger great All-American. He's going to join us next. He's on the opening day roster for the Detroit Tigers. He's going to be with. They open up tomorrow, so he's going to join us today. That's next. It's AFR.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by Clegg's Nursery. Buy local, shop local, and my goodness, just plant something every single day, like all of the days of the week. Clegg's has truckloads of new flowers and plants and trees and shrubs arriving at their greenhouses every single day because it's the time. It's spring. It's every day people are coming and cleaning them out because it's just, this is the time to get in your yard. This is the time to get your hands in the dirt. This is the time to just plant something, to add that beautiful pop of color to your flower beds. This is the time to green up your lawn, to prune back those trees and bushes and shrubs. Whatever it is to beautify the exterior of your home and your outdoor spaces, Clegg's can help you do it. If you're not sure what to do, don't worry. Like, I had no clue. I would take pictures, still do, of my outdoor spaces, and I'd show their horticulturists, like, what would look good here? What requires the least amount of work that would look good here? Clegg's Nursery. Buy local, shop local, tell them I sent you. Clegg's Nursery.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
And this year, 2022, it's time to finally treat yourself. Bring your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service. You want the latest and greatest marine technology? You want to go to the place that has not one, but 2 NMEA certified techs. Family owned and operated by the Sherman family for 30 years. Front to Back is the answer in Baton Rouge for all of your custom boat needs. So head to fronttobackboatservice.com or find them on Facebook, Front to Back Boat Service.
Hey, look what I found!
The motivation I needed to live healthier.
My new favorite sport. I found my groove.
I found I'm part fish.
My second win when I needed it most.
I found more than a gym.
The affordable childcare this mom needed. Time for myself. We found our why.
Have you found yours?
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, and online at theantiagingclinics.com. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
As they say, better late than never. A week late because of the lockout, but today is Major League Baseball's opening day. By tomorrow, all the teams will have taken the field. That includes the Detroit Tigers, which is where we find our buddy Alex Lange, former Tiger All-American, former first-round pick of the Cubs. Guy made his Major League debut last April. We're coming up on the 1 year anniversary of his debut. Alex Lange joins us now. How are you, man?
What's up, Matty? Good to hear from you.
Man, great to hear your voice. Thanks for the time.
Thanks for having me on.
Always our pleasure. How does it feel going into opening day, being part of the big squad?
Man, it's kind of a dream come true, to be honest with you. Made the debut last year, didn't quite make the opening day roster. It was up, a couple weeks later. But it's pretty cool being in that locker room, with the anticipation and, seeing everybody all through camp and just getting ready. So we're fired up. I'm ready. It's the best time of the year. Baseball's back, so we're excited.
Hey, man, how did the lockout impact your preparation this offseason?
Man, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't really think it affected anything. When we were coming up on February, we were just kind of preparing to as if camp was starting on time. And if it wasn't, you just kind of kept working, staying ready. We've kind of grown accustomed to that as ball players, to just keep working. And whenever they tell you, and we're ready to go. So, just facing guys live, still lifting, still throwing everything, kind of doing remote spring training, in a sense. So just always just being ready and staying ready.
What about a role for this season? Do you go into a season where manager, front office tells you what the expectation is, or is it something that as the season develops, you're going to grow into that role, whatever it may be?
Yeah, I think you kind of just grow into it naturally and organically. I want to help this team in any way I can, whether it's in a role or early in the games. It really doesn't matter to me. I just want to get out and help this team win, make a postseason push and make some noise in the postseason. I mean, that's the real dream. That's the real goal. So whatever we got to do to do that, I'm all bought in. I'm ready. So, Miggy and Torque are going to be working over there at first. Miggy's in the same situation. He's given Torque, to play first, and he's going to DH for us because his mindset is whatever it takes to win. And I kind of love that. That's kind of what we're running with. So, like I said, whatever we got to do, I'm prepared to do, and let's go get them.
So, okay, and I totally love that about you. But you have to have a goal, like what you would like for it to be in an ideal world. What is that?
I just want to be pitching in leverage late in the ball game. You know, I like the back end. I like where I'm at. I like seeing how the game's progressing. You know, you kind of start getting those butterflies a little bit, thinking like, oh, no shit, here we go. You know, and it's all right, 6th, 7th, 8th inning runs around. It's like, okay, let's go. Let's fire it up. So I was kind of, you know, able to pitch in that role a little bit last year. And, you know, I just really took to it. It's just right up my alley, right? Exactly what I like to do. So.
What's it like playing for A.J. Hinch?
He's unbelievable, man. He really is. Baseball mind is next level. The IQ of the game is unbelievable. You know, he's just he likes to win, and I like to win. So we get along very well. I really like the direction we're going and how he's doing everything. So it's been a pleasure, an absolute pleasure.
Do you pay attention? I guess I don't know, man. Do you pay attention to projections, projected win totals, Vegas, all that stuff at all going into a season?
Nah, man, I couldn't even tell you what they're projecting us at. Yeah, I bet you know. So
I actually,
where are they at?
I'm Googling it right now because I really don't know what they projected your win total. My guess is like probably not super great. Like everyone's super high on the White Sox, right? I mean, that's a thing. But I mean, like I'm looking at some. It's really mixed. I'm looking at one guy actually picked y'all to win the division here at CBS Sports. So I mean, it's kind of all over the map there. I mean, do you feel like the division is kind of wide open because of a lot of the turnover?
You know, I like where our team's at. You know, I can speak for our team, and you know, if we go out there and take care of our business, and I like where we're going to be at the end of the year. We're young. We got some young guys coming up, Twerk and Greeny, and we got a lot of new faces. With the signings, with Eduardo and Baez and Scopey coming back and Chafin helping us out in the pen. We got a lot of new guys, a lot of new faces. And, you know, we worked out some growing pains last year, and we really, really turned it on there down the stretch. And, you know, it's an exciting time to be a Tiger. So I like where we are, and I like the direction that we're going. So, you know, I like this team. And we'll see where we are. We end up in October for sure.
Once a Tiger, always a Tiger. A 79.5.
Go Tigers, baby.
79.5 is your projected win total this year. I'll take the over. You got me fired up, bro. I'm gonna take the over on that.
I love that.
Are you?
Always take the over's never dead, baby.
Are you? Do you ever look forward to facing former teammates in the show?
Yeah, I faced Fraley last year, and he came in a box. And we just started smiling at each other. You know, it's just kind of cool. And you know, you think back to when, you know, fall of 2014, that was my first fall, and, man, almost 10 years ago. It's kind of sad. But, you know, facing those guys back then, and then, you know, you have the opportunity to do it in the big leagues is unbelievable, man. Anytime you see a former teammate or a guy you played with growing up or against or whatever, you kind of it's just kind of cool because, you know, you're sitting there and you're just like, oh, you know, now we're doing it in Detroit. Now we're doing it in Seattle. Wow, you know. It's pretty cool, and you know, especially Fraley being in there was pretty awesome.
Now you get Bregman too,
and Bragg, yep,
yeah,
absolutely.
You get that one too. So we'll look forward to those matchups head to head when they do come about. Dude, give me a life update for everybody who maybe tries to keep track of the former Tigers. Just aside from obviously being on the opening day roster, which is awesome. What else is going on for you, man?
Man, honestly, it's a lot of baseball for me. You know, getting my body right, getting the mind right, and everything leading up to this season. And, you know, all good. I was in BR for the Tigers whooping up on Florida. That was pretty cool.
Love it.
Back in October, I love that. I always love coming back to BR and watching them kick ass. So, what you got for me? What are we looking at for basketball and football coming up? You're always my inside information.
Well, I mean, we can flip this and you can start asking me questions. I mean, let me ask you actually, how do you feel about Brian Kelly?
You know, I like it. I think, you know, he's got the winning mentality. He's going to get the guys in there, and let's go win some football games. We need to be back in the playoffs. That's it's just not right if LSU's not in it. It just doesn't feel right, you know. And I think everybody feels the same way because it's just better with the Tigers in it. It's just a fact.
There's
no bias behind that. It's just literally a fact.
there's no bias behind you thinking that it's better with LSU in there.
Omaha's better with the Tigers in it.
That's a fact.
The college
that is
football
a fact.
playoff is better with the Tigers in it. And I think the NCAA tournament's better with the Tigers in it.
That might be a minute before they're back there.
Yeah, well, hey, we'll say a couple prayers for them.
Like the Masters is better with Tiger in it as well. See, just if Tigers around places, it's just better, right?
It's a theme, brother. The big cats, I like it.
He is Alex Lange on the opening day roster for the Detroit Tigers. Man, we'll be watching tomorrow and all season long. We'll be pulling for you. I'm going to bother you plenty during the season, man. But good luck. Go get them. We'll talk soon. All right, man?
Sounds good. Appreciate it. Maybe we'll see you guys down in Houston or something.
Go
Tigers.
I'll definitely look forward to that. Thanks, Langer.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Okay, man. We'll see you. That is Alex Lange, who for this baseball season dropped our first expletive that had to be dumped. Muse was quick on the trigger. So, by the way, if you're on YouTube, you heard it. No, because you can't dump YouTube, and it doesn't matter either way. But terrestrial radio didn't hear it, but the Langer did let one slip there, and he just blew through it. Didn't even hesitate.
No.
Didn't even hesitate. Just
natural,
boom.
unnatural.
Oh, well, that was just like waking up for him.
Yeah,
no biggie. All right, we appreciate it. Busy start to the show here. Jay Johnson, Alex Lange, back to back. We are going to go to Starkville. 35 minutes. Talk to Steve Robertson from Gene's page to talk about the Mississippi State Bulldog. Closer look. It's just a big series for LSU. It's the defending champs. It's in Starkville. It's LSU State. That's always a big deal. Both teams are 4-5 in the league. Both are coming off series losses. State lost up at Arkansas. LSU, of course, lost at home to Auburn. So this is a big opportunity for LSU going on the road, and it's one where State's kind of, they're feeling a little pinch as well, coming in as the defending champ with a lot of expectations, and hadn't gone great out the chute, and obviously losing Landon Sims is huge for them. So we're going to talk a little closer about the Bulldogs with Steve Robertson coming up a little more than 30 minutes from right now. One other giant story today. The LHSAA has allowed NIL deals for high school athletes. So essentially, if a high school athlete signs an NIL deal, it will not disqualify them or deem them ineligible. They will not forfeit their eligibility if they sign an NIL deal. This is going to be transformative. Now, about 30, they anticipate by the summer, about 30 states, or 30 or 30% of the states are going to have enacted this type of rule. And eventually it's going to be everyone. But we're going to talk a little deeper about this with our buddy Jonathan Pixley from Match Point, who'll be with us in hour 3. What does that mean not only for the high school level, but also what does it mean for college recruiters recruiting Louisiana athletes when NIL deals are now in play, right? All right, so we'll get to that in hour 3 as well. We're brought to you by GMFS Mortgage, gmfsmortgage.com. Changing lives since 1999. Home buy, refi, construction loans, gmfsmortgage.com. Check them out online. Change your life today. Change your life financially. Lower your monthly mortgage payment. Skip a payment or two. We all see what's going on right now. The pain at the pump, what inflation has done to everybody's bank account. What if you could give yourself a raise by lowering your monthly mortgage payment? It's possible. Right now, everybody's looking for ways that they can save money. And GMFS Mortgage can help by refinancing your mortgage. GMFSmortgage.com. GMFSmortgage.com. Get in touch with a local loan officer. Just find the loan officer nearest you and begin the process there. They'll hold your hand through the entire thing. GMFS Mortgage, changing lives. All right, it's after further review. Let me knock out a quick break. We'll come back, go around the SEC. Former LSU Tiger Brandon Murray is visiting an SEC school this weekend.
Murray, present.
We're going to salvage it as much as we can. So be on the lookout. I will go around the SEC when we come back. Glad you're here. It's AFR.
AFR.
There it is, the extra mile. On the border of expected and extraordinary. For those willing to go further. Like vans customized for work or play. With safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Kids have staked out their place at Ochsner Medical Complex The Grove, where more than 30 pediatricians and pediatric specialists are all conveniently located under one roof, so you can spend less time driving and more time keeping your kids well.
Yes!
It's no wonder kids call dibs at The Grove. Ochsner Health Center for Children.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
If you're in an accident, a car accident, a slip and fall where you're injured, you need to call an attorney. The defendant insurance company, it's their goal to close the case as quickly as possible and pay out the least amount of money as possible. That's why it's important to call an attorney and call the law offices of O.C. Brown.
At the law office of O.C. Brown, we're a family-owned firm. We want to be your law firm for a lifetime.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, and online at theantiagingclinics.com. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge brings you the Ultimate Bracket Challenge presented by Acura of Baton Rouge and Coors Light. Congratulations to our winners. First place, Jonathan Bryant of Metairie, $2,022 cash and Coors Light swag. Second place, Amanda Lassane, St. James, Louisiana, 75-inch TV and a soundbar and Coors Light swag. Third place, Brett Riley from Baton Rouge, 2-night stay at the Beau Rivage in Biloxi, got it confirmed, in Biloxi, and Coors Light swag. Last place went to Kipper Montgomery from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, $100 gift card to Twin Peaks.
So there is no Beau Rivage in Lake Charles.
No, there's not.
No. And we did get to the bottom. So there's been a little, there have been some errors in the copy points for some of the reads of late. And I did ask Cade. So the voice guy, do you have it still, the drop from the voice guy? So the voice guy cut one of our promos for the Final Four, and he called the Kansas Jayhawks the Kansas City yes.
when the Kansas City Jayhawks face the Villanova Wildcats.
So I have confirmed the copy was the Kansas Jayhawks.
Uh-oh.
And so BC, the voice guy, very talented, by the way, he just had a slip. And then it just fell through the cracks and went to air without being in, and it aired before it was called. It happens. It's live radio. It happens. Although that's not live. That's literally a recorded promo that was written, recorded, sent, ingested, and then played. So there were many opportunities to catch it. And then as far as the Beau Rivage, when Kate told me what happened there, and I forgot.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's all remedied now, though.
Yeah, it's all good. I feel like there was something else, too. Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe.
It'll pop up.
Could have been.
If it is, it'll pop up. All right, it's after further review. Brandon Murray.
Murray, present.
There it is. He is visiting Tennessee this weekend. So, according to John Rothstein, Murray's going to make a decision on his
Murray, present.
next destination at some point on Monday. So, average 10 and 3 for the Tigers in his freshman year. 31 minutes per game. He was a key guy on this team, scored in double figures 16 times. Remember Kennedy Chandler from Tennessee, the terrific freshman guard declared for the draft after one season. He'll be a first rounder, potential lottery pick. So it would sting. I mean, we say it all the time. Like if you're going to lose someone, it same in recruiting. You'd just much rather them go somewhere where you're never going to see them again. Like Elias Ricks going to Alabama, Dwight McLaughlin going to Arkansas. That's way worse than losing a player in recruiting or a transfer to another. Like Josh White, the linebacker, going to Baylor is far less consequential. That's not a terrific example, but I think you understand what I mean. If you never have to see the player again, it's less impactful. But Brandon Murray,
present.
Visiting Tennessee, could end up there with the Vols, who are in need of some guard play. So we'll keep you posted. We should have that answer on Monday. But it's after further review. We're glad you're with us. Love telling you about South Point Volkswagen, southpointvw.com. New and certified pre-owned in Baton Rouge and online at southpointvw.com. That's southpointvw.com. Of course, 9 IIHS top safety picks. So if you want a new Volkswagen, you're driving one of the safest vehicles on the road. The great German engineering, all the style, feel, performance of luxury without the cost. And, of course, manufactured right here in the USA at their Chattanooga, Tennessee plant. That's South Point Volkswagen. But remember, certified pre-owned as well. If you're looking for a pre-owned vehicle, go shop the pre-owned lots. But remember, at South Point Volkswagen, people buy a new vehicle, they trade in their old vehicle, so the certified pre-owned lot is full of all different makes and models. If it's on the lot, it's online at southpointvw.com. South Point Volkswagen, what's your direction? Okay, do it every day about this time. Let's go around the SEC.
Around the SEC, presented by Gulf Coast Office Products, excellence in imaging solutions. The Alabama Crimson Tide.
Alabama wide receiver Ajayi Hall, told you about him earlier in the week where there was a report that he was no longer a member of the Alabama football team, and he replied, news to me. He has been suspended for, you don't remember that? Yeah, that was around the SEC earlier this week. Thanks for paying attention, Muse. Start having a test at the end of the show. Now we know what you learned today.
There's a lot of radio that happens throughout the day.
Yes, there is an awful lot of radio. I don't even remember everything I say. So Ajayi Hall has actually been suspended for a violation of team rules. Nick Saban has confirmed that. Was asked, Saban was, what Hall could do to rejoin the team. He says he's already been given the opportunity once before. Hall's a former four-star prospect from Florida, had 4 catches for 72 yards as a freshman last year, one of the best players in the country when he signed with Alabama. This is significant because Bama has lost its top 3 receivers from a year ago, Jamison Williams, John Mechie, and Slade Bolden. We will keep you posted.
The Kentucky Wildcats.
Lost that sheet. It went behind me. Freshman Bryce Hopkins entered the transfer portal Thursday morning, 6'6" forward. He was the 33rd best player in the country when he signed a year ago out of the state of Illinois. LSU fans should remember Hopkins. The game where Severe Wheeler and Ty Washington went down, Hopkins had his best game of the year. Came off the bench, played 16 minutes with 13 points and 4 boards. That guy, yeah. Anyway, he's transferring. So 2 players now leaving the Kentucky program. Hopkins follows Dante Allen.
The Arkansas Razorbacks.
Arkansas Hoops has added a pair of former Rhode Island forwards, brothers Mikkel and Makai Mitchell. Sorry, Paulie, almost got you there. They have 2 seasons of eligibility remaining. Makai Mitchell, 6'9", 230, started 27 games a year ago, had 7 double-doubles. Mikkel Mitchell, 6'10", 245, started 26 games, averaged 10 and 5 for the Rams a year ago. Arkansas had 2 players on the roster a year ago who were 6'7" or taller. Now they've added 2 more here with the Mitchell brothers. Arkansas also welcomes in the number 2 incoming freshman class in the country with 3 5-star McDonald All-American players. All right, get you caught up on baseball action from last night. Just a couple of games in the league. South Carolina went on the road and exploded on their rival, the North Carolina Tar Heels. 15-2, the Gamecocks were a winner. Missouri at home against Kansas. Apparently Kansas is bad in everything but basketball. 14-6, Missouri beat Kansas. Tonight, of course, you do have Thursday night SEC baseball with the pair matchups. This is a big one in Gainesville. Florida is hosting second-ranked Arkansas, and Texas A&M is in College Station at home against Kentucky. All right, there you have it. That is Around the SEC, presented by Gulf Coast Office Products. Shout out to our guy Trey Beal and our friends Gulf Coast Office Products online at gcopnet.com, gcopnet.com for Gulf Coast Office Products. Face-to-face sales, service after the sale, a national leader among Savin dealers, but they will service all makes and models. Remember, they got an office in Baton Rouge, a warehouse in New Orleans, on the North Shore, in Lafayette. So they can get you same day or worse, 10 a.m. the next day. If you have an issue with your office equipment, Gulf Coast Office Products is there. gcopnet.com for Gulf Coast Office Products. All right, good to have you aboard with us here. Day 1 at Augusta going swimmingly. Scotty Scheffler is the leader right now at 4 under. DJ's at 3 under there, so I would assume that's the leaderboard. Yep, active leaderboard. All right, so we'll also get you updated on how Tiger did. I know he just finished. Do you have his final score, Muse? Do you have it?
1 under par, 71.
So what did he do at 18? I was following on Twitter. He bombed it off the tee apparently.
He saved par.
Okay.
He poured in like a 40-footer at 16 for birdie to get to 1 under, and then parred out.
I just saw John Peterson's tweet where he said if Tiger had done that, like if it was just member play and he hit the drive he did on 18, he said he would have carded like a 17. So apparently they gave him relief off the tee at 18. Anyway, whatever. I'm doing the show. It's on. I'm not like locked into it right now. But anyway, Tiger had a pretty good day. He's 1 under, so he's 3 off the lead right now. It's really all you wanted. You can't win a tournament on Thursday. You just want to be there in the mix to be able to play into the weekend. Of course, Saturday, as they call it, is moving day, and so we'll see. But a nice opening round there for Tiger. 1 under par, 3 off the lead. All right, it's after further review. Let me knock out a quick break. We'll wrap up hour number 1 next.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by River City's 1 Hour Air, where they're always on time, or you don't pay a dime. 752-0001, 752-0001, 752-0001. That's River City's 1 Hour Air. Tell you all the time to trust River City's 1 Hour Air. This review came in from Ron Rendon, who said Bellamy is obviously a very skilled technician. He listened to me, told me what was going on, told me why things needed to be changed or fixed, and I'm happy as can be. Exceeded my expectations for a good job and or evaluation of my system. You don't hear that often with HVAC technicians, do you? Well, if you trust River City's 1 Hour Air, you do all the time. When you hire River City's 1 Hour Air, when a technician's on the way to the house, you get a call, an email, and a text message alerting you the tech is on the way with name, a picture of that technician, and reviews of the work they've done, just like that one on Bellamy. It's River City's 1 Hour Air, 752-0001.
Bayou Ford has 0.9% for 60 months on new Ford F-150 plus $1,000 bonus cash. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. And right now, get $1,000 bonus cash plus 0.9% APR for 60 months on new 2021 Ford F-150. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Each year, Guarantee Media hosts a radiothon to benefit dreams come true. And this year, we need your help more than ever.
We've interviewed these incredible kids, and each and every one of their stories brings tears to our eyes.
To have a dream granted means more to these families than you'll ever know.
And it wouldn't be possible without your help.
Dreams Come True has been hit hard by the events of the past year.
So we ask for your support in helping this incredible cause.
Our Dreams Come True Radiothon is powered by the Baton Rouge Clinic. Visit GuaranteeMedia.com to pledge your support today.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
And this year, 2022, it's time to finally treat yourself. Bring your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service. You want the latest and greatest marine technology? You want to go to the place that has not one, but 2 NMEA-certified techs. Family-owned and operated by the Sherman family for 30 years. Front-to-back is the answer in Baton Rouge for all of your custom boat needs. So head to fronttobackboatservice.com or find them on Facebook, Front-to-Back Boat Service.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, and online at theantiagingclinics.com. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
A little bit of breaking news here, not massively significant, but certainly noteworthy. Rap Sheedy and Rappaport tweeted just a moment ago that free agent defensive back Tyrann Mathieu, he had a virtual visit with Philadelphia Eagles, as Philly has emerged as a prime location for one of the top free agents. He writes, the Honey Badger visited the Saints this week and now has done Zoom with Philly. His market is heating up. I am going to maintain that I'm still skeptical of what Tyrann's market is. Mostly because we see this often. We see this often with free agents. There is that immediate boom, that first wave of free agency where the high-ticket free agents get their bag. We saw it with Marcus Williams. And then the market settles, and the next wave comes. I'm not saying that there won't be a market for Tyrann. Clearly there will be. My question, and there's a lot of teams I'm sure that would love to have Tyrann Mathieu on their roster, but at what cost? That's the big question. I mean, if the Saints would have matched Tyrann's number, he'd be a Saint today. I just don't know that there's a team that's going to give him the number he covets. So where eventually does he land and at what price is the big question. I want to point it out again. I mean, we did talk about it yesterday on the show. It may come down to, heck, I think T-Bob and I talked about this yesterday on Moscona and T. It may come down to the draft. I mean, the Saints have landed Von Bell in round 2. They've landed Marcus Williams in round 2. They've gotten starting safeties in the draft in round 2. And maybe with the 49th pick, they take a safety. And they decide we're going to go younger at that position and more affordable than giving a 29-year-old safety this deal. So I think we'll have a much clearer, we will have a much clearer indication of what Tyron's future is going to look like coming out of the draft. All right, it's after further review. Glad to have you aboard with us here. I got to tell you about a crazy thing that's happening with the defending world champion Atlanta Braves in just a quick second. I want to remind you about Michelli Weighing and Measurement, Michelli.com, Michelli.com. Check them out online at Michelli.com. ISO 17025 accreditation is available. Michelli Weighing and Measurement. No matter what industry you are in, if you weigh or measure something, Michelli sells, services, and rents the products that you use to weigh and measure. That is Michelli Weighing and Measurement with calibration labs from sea to shining sea. Make your business more efficient. Don't package up your devices and ship them all. I mean, think about it. Let's say you have devices that need to be calibrated. Why would you put it in a bubble wrap it, put it in a box, label it, wait for a mail carrier to come pick it up or bring it to the UPS store, ship it across the country, wait for it to get calibrated, then have it shipped back to you? Don't do all that. Just call Michelli Weighing and Measurement. They'll come to your office, pick up your devices, bring it to the lab, calibrate it, bring it back. Save you time, save you money. Michelli Weighing and Measurement. Michelli.com, Michelli.com. Okay, Braves are defending world champions, and as part of this, for opening day, when they open up at Truist Park, they have a new menu item. That new menu item is called the World Champion Burger. And it looks very caloric. We'll put it to you that way. It is a half pound of Wagyu beef served on a toasted Irish buttered brioche bun. The toppings include pan-fried eggs, gold leaf wrapped Hudson Valley foie gras, grilled cold water lobster tail, heirloom tomato, garden fresh Bibb lettuce, Tillamook cheddar cheese, and truffle aioli. They're also served with Parmesan waffle fries. It's $151, by the way. $151, celebrating the Braves' 151st year of existence, going back to 1871 as the Boston Red Stockings. Also, a World Series championship ring, a replica World Series championship ring, comes with the burger. So you get the replica ring, and you also have the opportunity to buy a limited edition original ring for $25,000. All right, so you know what time it is, don't you? Time for Freak Jury. You know the drill. Phone lines are open. We don't screen them. Would you spend $151 for the burger? 499-1045. 499-1045. Give us a buzz. 225-499-1045. World Champion Burger. $151. Would you buy it? Muse, would you buy it?
No.
Paulie, you're the Braves fan here. Braves hoodie on today. Paulie, would you buy it?
Yes.
You know what, Paulie? So would I. Let me tell you why. Tell you why, Muse. First of all, it's ballpark food. You're going to pay out the T. Heine anyway for ballpark
Not
food.
$151.
Doesn't matter. Life is about experiences. And for the rest of your life, you could say, yep, I went to Truist Park and I bought that $151. You know what? For the rest of my life, I'm not going to remember the $151. I will remember the $151 burger, though. I'll do it. All right, here we go. Hold on. Let's see. Okay. Would you buy the $151 burger?
Give me two.
See, why don't people still understand this? I can appreciate his sentiment, but it's yes or no. I don't need give me two. I don't need a big, long answer. I literally just need yes or no. Would you buy the $151 burger? We're off to a smashing start. Would
Live
you
radio.
buy the $151 burger?
Only for
Would you buy the $151 burger?
No.
Well, I would like to thank that person, whoever that is, for following the rules. See, the more this strays Muse, the more I think we're probably not going to do free jury anymore because they just can't get it right. It's not hard. You just say yes or no. That's it. All right. Would you buy the $151 burger? See, and he does whatever he was going to say. It doesn't even matter.
Didn't make air.
Because my hand is on the button, and I'm going to hang up on you the millisecond something comes out of your mouth that isn't yes or no. Like, why don't they get this? I don't get it. So the eyes have it. Hour 2 next.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by the Williamson Eye Center, WilliamsonEye.com, 924-2020, 924-2020. If you want to see 2020, call 924-2020. You know, I told you I wore glasses from the time I was in the 6th grade and contacts from the time I was in the 8th grade. And one of my favorite days, had LASIK 3 years ago. One of my favorite days was emptying out the contacts drawer. You know what I mean? It's the drawer that has your contact lens cases, like the one you use now, and then like the 6 that you've gotten and kept over the course of your life, having all the contact cases that would come with the contact solution. The big bottle of solution, the mini travel size solution, all the different boxes of contact lens that you should have probably gone and gotten a newer prescription but didn't. The little travel case that comes with it. You know what I'm talking about. Your glasses, the old prescription that you take with you on the road. And I just got to throw all of it in the trash. It's an amazing thing to be able to see. Can have it for you as well. The Williamson Eye Center. 924.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
Hey, look what I found!
The motivation I needed to live healthier. My new favorite sport.
I found my groove.
I found I'm part fish.
My second win when I needed it most.
I found more than a gym.
The affordable childcare this mom needed. Time for myself. We found our why.
Have you found yours?
There it is, the extra mile. On the border of expected and extraordinary. For those willing to go further. Like vans customized for work or play. With safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
SportsCenter.
I'm Doug Brown. First round play at the Masters. Live coverage right now on ESPN and ESPN Plus. Dustin Johnson and Cameron Smith are tied for the lead at the moment at 4 under par. Tiger Woods playing his first competitive round since November of 2020. Shoots a 1 under 71. Right now he is just 3 shots off the lead. It's opening day in Major League Baseball. 7 games on the schedule. Brewers and Cubs tied at 3 in the 7th at Wrigley Field. Here's ESPN's Carl Ravitch.
I have the spotlight on the New York Mets, and it's really because of ownership on down. I think the Yankees haven't had a competitor financially in a long time.
Carl Ravitch on KJ and Max. The Mets put right-hander Jacob deGrom on the injured list with a stress reaction in his right shoulder blade. The Nationals put right-hander Steven Strasburg on the IL as he recovers from thoracic outlet surgery. Strasburg has pitched less than 30 innings over the last 2 years combined.
Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max.
If the Buffalo Bills don't get to the Super Bowl, this season for them is a complete failure.
It's Friday with KJ and Max. It all starts at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ESPN2.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge Studios.
Hour 2 off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. I'm Matt.
I am sweating.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Yusuf. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. LSU, Mississippi State, 2 historic powers in college baseball at one of college baseball's great venues, Duty Noble Field. It'll go down tomorrow, start with a 3-game series. Our buddy Steve Robertson, good enough to join us for a couple of minutes now to preview the Bulldogs. Steve, thanks as always for the time, man. How are you?
Well, I'm actually out at football practice, watching the Bulldogs practice. If you need some football information, I can give you that too.
Let's start there, man. How they looking?
Yeah, pretty good. I mean, skill-wise, I think they're going to be really good offensively. I mean, it's going to boil down to the offensive line play. I mean, State's missing 2 interior guys during the spring that had off-season surgery, and you're replacing the left tackle. But, the good news is you signed, the number 1 junior college offensive tackle in the country in Percy Lewis, but it's going to be about how quickly can he get up to SEC speed. So, offensively, I think they'll take a step forward this year, but it's all going to depend on how well they can protect the quarterback. And if they can, they ought to be able to score a little bit.
You mean to tell me Mike Leach let y'all have just open access and you can make phone calls during practice?
Oh, yeah. I can take pictures, whatever I want to do.
Wow. That's pretty cool, man. Brian Kent, look, LSU hasn't had an open practice since Jerry DiNardo was the coach. I know you've obviously lived here and covered the team before, but incredibly, Brian Kelly allowed a 2-hour media availability on Saturday. The entire practice. First time it's happened in more than 20 years. Incredible.
Yeah, I remember when Les was there, we could come for like 10 minutes. You could come just to see who was in the color jersey and who wasn't, and who was practicing, and that was about it. You couldn't ask any questions, but Leach has been real accommodating. Now, when they get into the fall, once they get into camp, like into game prep, then we're limited. We get to come for the first couple of periods, and then we come back for interviews. But during the spring and during fall camp, we're able to come out here and watch whatever we want.
That's pretty cool, man. We'll certainly catch up more as we maybe get through the end of spring drills. Let's talk a little bit about this baseball team. I had Jay Johnson with us last hour. I asked him this question. I'm going to ask you the same one. When you lose Landon Sims, who's your Friday night guy, it just has an undeniable effect on a domino effect on everything you want to do with your pitching staff. So how much has that affected what Chris Lemonis is trying to do with this team, not having Landon Sims?
Well, tremendously. And it's not just Landon Sims. They also lost Don Simmons, who was expected to be the closer. Lost him the same weekend at Tulane. Lost Landon on Friday and Stone on Saturday. And so now all of a sudden, Preston Johnson was expected to be kind of the first guy at the bullpen. Well, he goes to Friday night because Casey Hunt, your Saturday guy, tweaked something in his first start of the year, and he's just coming back. So it had just been that injury. They've had 2 season-ending injuries and then one other one that sidelined the guy for a month. So you've got a lot of guys that were expected to be middle to long relievers that are having to start. Cade Smith is the only guy that started the season as a starter on the weekend, and he's still there on Sunday. But you've had to move some guys around, and as a result, it's kind of stressed everybody on the pitching staff.
So what has been I know that there was some talk maybe about Lemonis shuffling the rotation. What has been his answer, and what are they planning on doing this weekend?
Now, they're sticking with what they did the last couple weekends. It'll be Preston Johnson on Friday, Parker Stinnett on Saturday, and Cade Smith on Sunday. Parker had a bit of a meltdown against Arkansas. Just could not throw strikes, and it happened there in the second inning. And one thing I'll tell you about Parker Stinnett is, when he's on, he's really good. But when it goes south in a hurry. He'll go from a 1, 2, 3 inning to walk in the ballpark, and you don't even have the time to get anybody ready. And so that's kind of what happened last weekend. Second inning, he just absolutely could not find the strike zone. And so that's really kind of the trouble spot, I would say, with the weekend rotations Saturday.
Steve, offensively, I look at this team, and it's a little crazy because they're second to last in the league in batting average. They're fourth in runs scored. So how are they producing runs when they're not producing hits?
Well, they're hitting the long ball, pretty well. It's I think what are they, third in the SEC in home runs right now, and next to last in batting average. And on base percentage has been okay because they will let you walk them. But this is a team that is kind of underperformed offensively on a consistency basis. But then you've got a Sunday game like Georgia where you got to put up 20 runs. It's like they're capable of putting up a ton of runs. It's just what can they do it against frontline pitching, and that's really been the challenge this year. Jackson Cannon at Georgia really shoved on Friday night, and then State got after them later. But offensively, you've got some pieces that you were counting on that really haven't lived up to their expectations. Cam James is the guy that's leading the team in hitting, but his RBI and home run numbers are down. But finally starting to see Luke Hancock break out of what's kind of been kind of a season-long slump. He's hit 4 home runs in 3 games, and they've done some things mechanically with him to kind of get him back on track. So we feel like they're starting to kind of pick it up, but it's just, kind of a Jekyll and Hyde type deal. You score 1 run one day and 20 the next.
So when it has been a struggle offensively, is there a certain style of pitcher? What has been the Achilles heel offensively for State when it's not gone well?
Well, soft tossing lefties, and I think that's the case for everybody in the SEC because you don't see those guys that often. But guys with good sink, guys that get you to offer at pitches and then beat them in the ground. That's kind of been what I would call the winning formula to beat Mississippi State is you throw that that heavy fastball and get them to just put the ball in play, and instead of being line drives and home runs, you're shooting grounders all across the diamond. You're hoping something gets through, and there have been so many teams now that are shifting because State has so many dead pull hitters. Those holes that were there earlier in the year aren't there now, so you're having to do a better job, kind of barreling some things up and trying to hit line drives.
Steve Robertson's with us a couple more minutes. He's on Twitter at ScoutSteveR, genespage.com. Flip it. When things are going well on the mound for State, let me ask you this way. What's an ideal scenario, realistically? Obviously, Lemonis would love to have 3 guys, throw complete games. But what's an ideal scenario Friday, Saturday, Sunday?
Well, I think, what you hope Friday is to be in the ball game late and hope we turn it over to Brooks Auger, who I think has been their most reliable, middle reliever. And then Jackson Fristow has come on here as of late. And Fristow is a former starter. They're trying to kind of turn him into a closer. He had a pair of 3-inning saves last weekend. So he's a guy, too, that I think can get you there. If you can get the ball to him with the lead, maybe in the 6th or 7th, I think you feel pretty good about that. And then Mikey Tepper is a guy that they're really high on. He throws 97 and come back and drop a changeup on you around 82, and same arm motion, same arm slots. It's very deceptive, but he's just been inconsistent. But the last 2 weeks have been the best 2 weeks of his season. So maybe that's a guy too, or maybe on Saturday. But, Cade Smith is the most reliable starter Mississippi State has. And he's a guy too that, when I look back at the history of Mississippi State, which I'm pretty well versed in, the guys that have been really successful at Mississippi State are the guys that have pitched with an attitude. Guys that have come out there with a chip on their shoulder, like, you know what, you may think you're good, but you're not better than me. That's that kid. He's the guy that goes out there, not in a disrespectful way, but he's an ultra competitor. And he'll be ready to go come Sunday. No matter what happens Friday or Saturday, come Sunday, Mississippi State fans have confidence to know that Smith is going to keep him in a ball game, and he'll pitch as long as he can.
Still early, obviously, in conference play, but it feels like there's a lot on the line for both these squads sitting at 4-5, which I think it's fair to say for both State and LSU. The expectation is always higher, and thought they'd be a little better lot than they are right now. We'll see how it plays out starting tomorrow there at the Dude. Steve Robertson, let's get back to football practice, man. Appreciate a couple of minutes as always.
Thank you, Matt. Take care.
All right, it's our pleasure. We appreciate Steve for a couple of minutes. It's Steve Robertson from Gene's Page, genespage.com. He's on Twitter at ScoutSteveR. It's always funny because Steve he was on the LSU beat for a while, and he's a State guy, covers State, and is a State guy. He's got a 225 number, so it's always a little weird to call a guy with a 225 number that's a State guy. But we appreciate Steve. He's a good dude, does a great job. We appreciate him. All right, it's after further review. Should the New Orleans Saints trade for Brandon Cooks? It might not be a crazy thought. We'll talk about it next. It's AFR.
AFR.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Kids have staked out their place at Ochsner Medical Complex The Grove, where more than 30 pediatricians and pediatric specialists are all conveniently located under one roof, so you can spend less time driving and more time keeping your kids well. Yes! It's no wonder kids call dibs at The Grove. Ochsner Health Center for Children.
Miller Lite has more taste and only one more calorie than Michelob Ultra.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Bayou Ford has 0% for 60 months on new Ford F-150s plus $1,000 bonus cash. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. And right now, get $1,000 bonus cash plus 0% APR for 60 months on new 2021 Ford F-150. Shop now at BayouFord.com. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
If you're in an accident, a car accident, a slip and fall where you're injured, you need to call an attorney. The defendant insurance company, it's their goal to close the case as quickly as possible and pay out the least amount of money as possible. That's why it's important to call an attorney and call the law offices of O.C. Brown.
At the law office of O.C. Brown, we're a family-owned firm. We want to be your law firm for a lifetime.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. Service Master Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you were born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, and online at theantiagingclinics.com. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and the Baton Rouge Clinic bring you the Dreams Come True Radiothon. Dreams Come True is an organization designed to help grant dreams for children with life-threatening illnesses and their families. The Dreams Come True Radiothon is presented today by Rev, Red Stick Sports, Delta College, and Patient Plus Urgent Care. Donate today at 1045ESPN.com.
All right, glad you're rolling along with us here. 1 hour from right now, our buddy Jonathan Pixley from Matchpoint Connection is going to be with us. If you haven't heard, the big news today around prep sports in Louisiana is that the LHSAA has allowed high school athletes in the state to do NIL deals. This is something that is going to become standard across the entire country. It's already started. Louisiana's part of the first wave, but it's going, just like in college, it's going to happen everywhere. And the most obvious immediate beneficiary is Arch Manning, but it could have far wider ranging impacts and effects. So we'll talk about that 1 hour from right now. Glad to have you with us. Should the New Orleans Saints trade for Brandon Cooks? This is a very interesting idea. And it's an idea that apparently is something the Saints are considering and have inquired about, according to several national reports. It is worth noting that the Saints did a trade deal with the Houston Texans last year for Mark Ingram. So not altogether unprecedented. Teams like to trade outside of their conference, right? So you're not trading within the conference to a team that could hurt you. But this is a bit of an oddity because you shipped off Brandon Cooks, who was a first-round draft pick, and we all remember his tweet about, hungry mouths not getting fed or whatever it was. And when Sean Payton and this organization was revamping the culture in the locker room that had gone awry, that was one of the guys they shipped out of here. And when the Saints traded Brandon Cooks after 2016 to New England, it really worked out well. Michael Thomas was drafted in 2016, and he was emerging. And they sent Cooks and a 4 to New England for a 1 and a 3. That first-round pick, of course, became Ryan Ramczyk. The third-round pick, number 103 overall, became Trey Hendrickson. So basically, the Saints traded Brandon Cooks and a 4 for Ryan Ramczyk and Trey Hendrickson. I'd say it worked out. So there's a few things here that are worth considering. Number one is, can Michael Thomas and Brandon Cooks coexist? And the answer is unequivocally yes. The two played together in New Orleans in 2016. Cooks was a 2014 first rounder, so 2016 was his third year, and that was Michael Thomas's rookie year. So in that year together, Thomas finished with 92 catches for 1,137 yards and 9 touchdowns. Cooks had 78 catches for 1,173 yards and 8 touchdowns. So both went over 1,100 yards receiving. Thomas had 9 touchdowns. Cooks had 8. So both 8 in 2016 together. And the reason is obvious. They're different stylistically. Thomas is your guy who is, you throw it in a gigantic catch radius within 15 yards, he's going to catch it. Cooks is stretch the field, blow the top off. Your deep play threat, which the Saints haven't had since they traded Brandon Cooks. Now, they brought in Ted Ginn, but a 35-year-old Ted Ginn at the time wasn't what he was early in his career, and certainly not what Brandon Cooks was and has continued to be. So, can the two of them coexist in an offense? Yes, we've seen it happen already. Do the Saints have a need? Absolutely. That almost goes without saying. Now, I have said, look, the Saints are already better today than they were Week 18, and that's true because you're healthy. You've got Jameis back. You've got Michael Thomas back. Yes, you lose Armstead. Yes, you've lost Marcus Williams, and there are question marks. I'm not saying that, but you are better today than you were Week 18 because of all the injuries that you had last year and all of the backups that you were playing, essentially, and now you're healthy. But, yes, they have a need. The Saints need the guy that can stretch the field. They've tried to do it with Callaway. They've tried to do it with Deontay Hardy. It's just not the same as talking about a guy like Brandon Cooks. By the way, Brandon Cooks, in his career, he had the 2,000-yard seasons in New Orleans. He goes to New England, had 1,000 yards in his only season in New England. Goes to the Rams. His first season there is a 1,200-yard season. His second year in New England, or in Los Angeles, 583 yards. Then his 2 years in Houston, both were 1,000-yard seasons. So 6 of his 8 NFL seasons have been 1,000-yard receiving seasons. And I'd like to point out that last year, Brandon Cooks had 90 catches for 1,037 yards and 6 touchdowns without Deshaun Watson. Who was throwing in the ball? Was it Davis Mills? Dude had a 1,000-yard season. Like, Brandon Cooks rolls out of bed. He has 1,000. He has 1,000 receiving yards. Age. I'm going to blow your mind. You ready for this? Brandon Cooks was drafted in 2014. Michael Thomas was drafted 2 seasons later, 2016. Brandon Cooks is younger than Michael Thomas. Brandon Cooks is 28 years old. Michael Thomas is 29. Cooks won't be 29 until September. Cooks has been in the NFL 2 years longer than Michael Thomas, and he's a year younger. Like holding kids back in Ohio, man. Those high school rules. Anyway, point is, it's not like you're talking about this old veteran that's on the back end of his career. He's younger than Michael Thomas. There's one thing. There's one objection. It's singular. I mean, I love the player. I love his skill set. I love the compliment he would be to Michael Thomas. I love where he is in his career, the fact that he's still 28 years old. He's been I love it, all of it. All of it make check. I love all of it. There's one thing I don't like. And it's likely the likely cost. So the Texans are asking a 2. They want a second-round pick for Brandon Cooks. Now, before I got married, I could ask a supermodel out. Doesn't mean it was going to happen. You know what I mean? But I did marry my wife, so I'm massively lucky. But the Texans can ask for a 2. It doesn't mean they're going to get a 2 for Brandon Cooks. Is he worth it? Maybe. But the cost to acquire Cooks and then his contract kind of is the problem. That is the big objection. That is going to be the big sticking point if it doesn't happen. Brandon Cooks signed a 5-year, $81 million contract with the Rams. He's entering the final year of that deal. It has been restructured already. So he's got 2 more years of dead money on the books, like voidable years of dead money on the books. But Brandon Cooks in 2022 will count $16.2 million against cap. That's a $16.2 million cap hit for a receiver in 1 year. Now, if you're the Saints and you acquire Brandon Cooks, obviously you would sign him to an extension and that cap number would come down. But remember what we've talked about. Look at the contracts that receivers are getting right now. Look at the money Stephon Diggs got. Look at what Tyreek Hill got. Look at what Devontae Adams got. I understand. Brandon Cooks is not those guys. He's not a top 5 receiver in the NFL. But he's a guy that's had back-to-back 1,000-yard receiving seasons, and 6 of his 8 seasons in the league, he's at 1,000 yards. He's still 28 years old. You're going to have to pay that man. If you're going to give up a second-round pick to acquire him, you're going to have to extend him. And at what cost are you willing to pay for another wide receiver, considering you already have given Michael Thomas a $100 million contract? That's the problem. You're going to have to give up an asset to get them. I like the player a lot. I like how he would fit. I don't like having to give up an asset to get the player and then have him cost what it would cost to have Brandon Cooks alongside Michael Thomas when you've got 2 first-round picks. You get 3 picks in the top 49 of this draft in a receiver deep, heavy draft where with one of those picks, number 16, number 19, number 49, one of those picks you can use on a receiver and get a really, really good receiver that has that skill set, that can stretch the field. And you got him on a rookie contract for 4 or 5 years, depending if you use your first or your second-round pick. I like Brandon Cooks. I would like to have Brandon Cooks on this roster. I don't want to trade for Brandon Cooks and have to pay Brandon Cooks when I have an option, albeit an unproven option, in the draft. But I think there is much less risk taking a receiver in this year's draft because of how deep it is and how good this Saints staff has been at identifying receiver talent. Traquan Smith notwithstanding, he's been awful. But everybody else, seemingly, that they've taken, hey, what are you laughing? You know it. Traquan Smith talking about, man, this offense is going to be a sight. Yeah, a sight to behold. It's going to be explosive, and you're going to get a great look at it from the bench. I lost my train of thought. Doesn't matter. Point is, you should be able to get a guy who can do what Brandon Cooks can do with one of your top 3 draft picks and not have to pay what you'd have to pay to Brandon Cooks. Stay tuned. All right. So after further review, we're glad you're aboard with us here. Brought to you by Shaw Bills Tire and Auto Service, ShawBillsTire.com. Bumper-to-bumper auto service and name brand tires at wholesale prices. That is Shaw Bills. Locations all over South Louisiana, where they were born in Morgan City, moved up to Baton Rouge. They've moved west toward Port Allen and Lafayette. Their newest location is in Livingston Parish there. Denham Springs, you have your own Shaw Bills location. If you need tires, go to Shaw Bills. You need auto service, go to Shaw Bills. They'll treat you like family. You can even wait on your vehicle. I'm very productive when I wait on my vehicle at Shaw Bills. They got free Wi-Fi, of course. They've got comfortable furniture. They got flat screen TVs. They've got clean restrooms, clean coffee station. It's actually very comfortable to sit and wait and work at Shaw Bills. Bumper-to-bumper auto service and name brand tires at wholesale prices. Shaw Bills, where we keep you rolling. All right, y'all, it's after further review. Masters round 1. How about DJ? Got to share the lead right now at 4 under par. Tiger finished his opening round at 1 under par. So the big cat is certainly hanging there after day one. Everyone just sort of wanted to see how that leg would hold up after walking 18. So far, so good for Tiger. So after his round, I saw Ross Dellinger tweet, who, by the way, Ross is there covering the Masters, college football writer for SI, who covers the NCAA tournament. Now he's covering the Masters. Ross told me he golfed in high school. I saw him last time he was in town. He was telling me he golfed in high school. Anyway, Ross tweeted a quote from Tiger after his round, what he would do, what the next 18 hours would look like for him. He said, lots of ice. But it's good to see Tiger walking around making shots at Augusta. So the Masters is underway. All right, it's after further review. Quick break. When we come back, quick thought on the Pels, who are back on the floor tonight there at the Blender after their long road trip. Boy, still a lot to get to. You still have Tigers in the pros. Interesting theory about what the Saints are going to do at quarterback in this draft. That's coming up in 30 minutes. Glad you're here. A ton to do. It's AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by Rouse's, the official supermarket of LSU athletics. Of course, Rouse's has crawfish. Been telling you about that forever, live or boiled if you want to buy them boiled. Nobody boils more crawfish every day than Rouse's. And also, if you're having a crawfish boil, they sell everything, including the live crawfish. That's at Rouse's. And remember, Rouse's has everything you want. Like, they're a fully stocked grocery store. They got all of your everything you'd want at a grocery store. And they have curbside pickup available at Rouse's. So if you want your groceries delivered or you want curbside pickup, Rouse's does offer that. So go to the website. It's rouses.com. Rouses.com. You see it right there on the homepage, how you can learn more about delivery and pickup. You select your store by zip code. You go do your shopping right there on the website, and then they can have it either delivered to you or curbside pickup at Rouse's. The official supermarket of LSU athletics. Curbside pickup available at Rouse's.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Auctioner.
And this year, 2022, it's time to finally treat yourself. Bring your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service. You want the latest and greatest marine technology? You want to go to the place that has not one, but two NMEA-certified techs. Family-owned and operated by the Sherman family for 30 years, Front-to-Back is the answer in Baton Rouge for all of your custom boat needs. So head to front-to-backboatservice.com or find them on Facebook, Front-to-Back Boat Service.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
If home is where the heart is, a roof is a shield. That's why for over 25 years, South Louisiana always turns to Garcia Roofing and Sheet Metal. For more information, visit garciadidmyroof.com.
after further review with Matt Moscona. Presented by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, and online at theantiagingclinics.com. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
All right, it's going to be a sprint to the finish for the remainder of this NBA season. Jimmy told you about it yesterday in Otterlocks. They're wrapping up the regular season, so you got a lot of back-to-backs, a lot of teams playing a lot of games in a short amount of days. The Pelicans, after their long road swing, they're back at home tonight against Portland. As we've talked about, this is a Portland team that is, they've quit. I mean, they traded C.J. McCollum. They are tanking for the draft. They are resting everybody, or everybody is basically out. Didn't we say yesterday Trendon Watford was out with a bone contusion? He had a bruise, essentially. He was sitting with a bruise. They're basically sitting everybody at this point. They're playing a G League squad on a bunch of two-way contracts to just finish out the season and lose. Injury report for the Pels tonight. Brandon Ingram is doubtful in this ball game tonight, but Jonas Valanciunas, who sat out the game against the Kings, is expected to play, or he will play, rather. This is after shoot-around. So Ingram is doubtful due to right hamstring tightness. Jonas Valanciunas is available. He confirmed during shoot-around that he will play. So Jared Harper is available in this ball game tonight. Kyra Lewis and Zion are out for this ballgame. That's the injury report after shoot-around today for New Orleans as they take on Portland. Portland's got a 3-game road losing streak rolling right now, but as we continue to say, let's be real. This is a team that's not trying to win. And even without Brandon Ingram tonight, this is a game that the Pelicans should well go out and win. That is part of the story tonight, certainly. For what it's worth, the line, let me check the line. DraftKings has the Pelicans as a 16.5-point favorite. Okay, so does that kind of tell the story? The Pels are a 16.5-point favorite. You have one team that is tanking. You have another team that is very much trying to secure home court in the play-in. That is in the postseason, that is trying to secure home court in the play-in. So this was a great opportunity to get Brandon Ingram an opportunity to rest, given what's ahead for New Orleans. In a game that you should well win either way. Of course, nothing is ever given in the NBA. They're all professionals. It's hard to win, especially you get some of these guys on two-way deals that are trying to make a roster, make an impression. I get it. That's why you were in a nail-biter for the first half with the Kings before ultimately talent went out, and that likely will happen again tonight. But I'm not sure if you saw this, but the Pelicans organization did issue a press release yesterday. And the press release is about television opportunities for a couple of upcoming games. If you didn't see it, New Orleans, here it is from the NBA. So the league has altered the Pelicans' schedule a bit. The road game against Memphis on Saturday will still be on Bally Sports New Orleans, but it will be a national game on NBA TV. The home game against the Dubs on Sunday will be a national broadcast on TNT. I do not know anything. I want to be very clear about this. I do not know anything. I'm not talking to David Griffin. I'm not talking to Willie Green. I'm not talking to Gail Benson. I don't know. I'm not talking to Swin Cash. I don't know. Nobody within the NBA's front office is phoning me up to be like, hey, guess what's going on? I'm just reading tea leaves. And maybe they are too. But is it coincidental that a very short time after Zion's stepfather did an interview with Jordy and said he expects Zion to play this year, that now all of a sudden a couple of Pels games are going to be primetime, nationally televised games? If you're the NBA and Zion's playing in is playing a game, you want that game nationally televised. You want to boost ratings at the end of the season when a lot of teams are resting star players. That's a good way to do it if Zion's going to make a return. Again, I want to be clear. I am not telling you that I know anything. I'm not even making a bold prediction as to say I think he's going to play. I've been pretty adamant that I don't expect Zion to play this year at all. Even if the Pelicans win the play-in and make it, I don't think he's going to play. It just doesn't make any sense to risk anything with him at this point when he's missed the entire season. So I don't think he's going to play. But that is really interesting. I mean, the Pelicans are not a draw. They're not. Y'all have heard me talk about it. Like, I am very much hoping that the bandwagon gets heavier for this team. Like, I want them to do exceptionally well. I've cheered for them since they were the Hornets. We don't talk a ton about them here because I talk about things that are relevant here. And if you don't have star players that are winning games, it's hard to cut through when you've got LSU and Saints and everything going on. But I want them to be awesome. I want them to be relevant. I want people to care. I'm not saying it's going to be the thing you care most about, but I want them to care. I want you to care. So, but that's here. You think nationally, people give a rip about a sub-500 team that's pumped about being in the play-in? I mean, that's the reality of the lot you face. You're not going to get, this team isn't getting national coverage. They're scrapping to get the play-in the West. They're not interesting nationally. They're coming, and they will be. Not right now. Zion comes back. Oh, yeah. That's how you start getting nationally televised games. You get star power. Just something to file away. I mean, Pels, they're going to play tonight against Portland. They should have no problem with Portland. Tough back-to-back. Memphis, Golden State. Get it? And the Pels got a lot to play for still. Trying to secure home court in the play-in. Obviously, you want to keep LeBron shut it down for the rest of the season today. You hope the Lakers lose out. Keep increasing your opportunity to make that pick. Oh, God, if that ends up winning the lottery, you end up in the top 3. Oh, be incredible. But anyway, just file that away. The NBA making that change, the timing of them making that change is interesting. So maybe we see Zion. Maybe not. I don't think we will. But that's the only reason nationally people would care about this team right now. All right, it's after further review. Glad you're hanging out with us here. Let me knock out our final break of hour number 2. Muso is going to have Tigers in the Pros to wrap up the hour. That's coming up. There was an interesting mock draft that came out today at ESPN.com where their newest draft insiders did a 2-round mock of all of the I'm sorry, it wasn't a 2-round mock. Excuse me. It was a quarterback mock where they picked where every quarterback would be taken in this draft. And both of the guys that participated had the Saints taking a quarterback. But neither had the Saints taking a quarterback in round 1. Who they had them taking and where they had them selecting quarterbacks is what was interesting to me. And we're going to get to that in about 18 minutes to start hour number 3. The Saints might well take a quarterback in this draft, but it may not be at the 16th or 19th pick. We're going to talk about that coming up. All right, it's after further review. Thanks for being here. Brought to you by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, and online at theantiagingclinics.com. That's theantiagingclinics.com. Final break of hour 2. Muso will have Tigers in the Pros to wrap up hour number 2 next.
AFR.
The Baton Rouge General Hospital, they have express care locations, which offers you 7-day-a-week walk-in urgent care. You got scrapes and bumps and bruises or sniffles and sneezes, and you need to see a doctor, but you want to wait to see your doctor, and you certainly don't need to go to the ER. Go to the Baton Rouge General Express Care. You can log on to brgeneral.org, brgeneral.org. You can check in online. You'll see it right there on the homepage, how you can check in online. Also, if you download the Baton Rouge General mobile app, you can even check wait times at their express care locations. You got them on all ends of town. They got a Dutchtown location. They got locations on either end of LSU's campus. There's a location directly across from Tiger Stadium on Nicholson, and then there's the Highland Road location just through the South Gates. It's the Baton Rouge General express care locations. If you've got just a cold or COVID, if you've got animal bites or allergies, express care locations from the Baton Rouge General. brgeneral.org.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
The motivation I needed to live healthier.
My new favorite sport.
I found my groove.
My second win when I needed it most.
I found more than a gym.
The affordable childcare this mom needed.
Time for myself.
We found our why.
Have you found yours?
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has new 2022 Ram 1500 Bighorns in stock with 0% APR for 72 months. Shop our inventory or let us custom order your Ram with up to $2,000 bonus cash, million-mile warranty, and more. Shop BayouCDJR.com or visit us off I-10 in La Plaza. The crew at Bayou is going to do right by you.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, and online at theantiagingclinics.com. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Greg Lehman texted and said, "Did you not cast Brandon Cooks to the Island of Misfit Toys?" No, Brandon Cooks was never sent to the Island of Misfit Toys. The Island of Misfit Toys is reserved specifically for Saints players that underperform, that don't meet expectations, that were a waste of a draft pick or a waste of free agent dollars. Brandon Cooks was a terrific player when he was in New Orleans. That was never the issue. The issue was he became a little disgruntled with his sort of lack of productivity, which was actually really good in his last team. He was a 1,000-yard receiver. We thought it was an 1,100-yard receiver. It was not that. I mean, it was, and it was an opportunity for the Saints to gain some draft capital where they were trying to rebuild their roster, and it was incredible. They turned those two picks that they got for Brandon Cooks into Ryan Ramczyk and Trey Hendrickson. But no. Brandon Cooks was never cast away to the Island of Misfit Toys, ever. If you want, you can always text the show in the 225-396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400. Lots of ways that you can get involved in the show. You can email us. You can tweet us at Matt Moscona.
Hey, Twitter world.
Oh, thank you, Juice. Or you can jump in the Bayou Forward YouTube channel on the Watch 104.5 ESPN YouTube channel. You're always welcome to watch the show live on the Watch 104.5 ESPN YouTube channel, or you can always go back and watch it on demand or listen on demand. If you do watch on YouTube, do us a solid, subscribe to the Watch 104.5 ESPN YouTube channel. Hit the bell that sets a notification for when we go live. That's all of our shows, our daily lineup here, and things like Scone and Tea, which T-Bob and I will be doing live every Wednesday, 7 o'clock from Oliver Twist in Baton Rouge, and streamed live on our YouTube and Facebook page. So appreciate you for being there with us. Okay, Muso. Tigers in the pros.
Tigers in the pros. They still bleed purple and gold. They're just really rich now. Presented by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, where Baton Rouge gets engaged.
Let's start with an update from Augusta National, shall we? Sam Burns out on the course, his inaugural Masters round of his career. He's through 13 holes, sits at 1 over par, good enough for tied for the 28th position today. It's been a bit of an up and down round. A little trial by fire for Sam Burns in the first round at Augusta. 3 birdies, 2 bogeys, 1 double bogeys, the rest pars. So 7 pars on the day, but not a bad position for your first Masters. I should note, actually, movement on the leaderboard, now tied for 30th at 1 over par instead of 28th.
And nobody's going low today. I mean, I don't know if it's conditions on the course. I know they said it rained last night and this morning, but you're not seeing any really low numbers. So just you can't win it on Thursday.
68's the round of the day right now going. And Cam Smith had it going, but bookended his round with double bogeys. How about that? A double bogey on the first, a double bogey on the 18th. Eight under on the other 16 holes there.
That's incredible.
Golf. What a game. Major League Baseball opening day today. How about this for LSU baseball? 8 former Tigers on Major League Baseball opening day rosters. They are DJ LeMahieu with the New York Yankees, Alex Bregman with the Houston Astros, Aaron Nola with the Philadelphia Phillies, Kevin Gausman with the Toronto Blue Jays, Austin Nola with the San Diego Padres, Will Harris with the Washington Nationals, Jake Fraley with the Cincinnati Reds, and Alex Lange with the Detroit Tigers, who was on the show earlier today. Trying to see if they have in this. I'm not seeing it in the release where that ranks among colleges and with Major League players, but it's a lot, and I bet you LSU's near the top. As far as who you might see tonight, well, the Cincinnati Reds are in action against the Atlanta Braves. You could see some Jake Fraley there in a pinch hit opportunity. Alex Bregman, he'll be in the starting lineup for the Houston Astros when they face the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim later tonight. As a matter of fact, the lineup is posted, and Alex Bregman, I'm sorry, that is an old tweet. The lineup is not posted for that game. My apologies. My apologies for that one. And the San Diego Padres, they are the late game tonight facing the Arizona Diamondbacks. So Austin Nola action as well there for the Padres. He is leading off tonight for San Diego and catching. That's Tigers in the pros.
Mercifully. Limped through the finish there.
We did a little bit of that on the fly there at the end.
We're brought to you by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Job well done, though. Thank you for getting all the information in. Check out the starting lineups. All right, Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, lmfj.com, lmfj.com. Gentlemen, let's be real. Most of us are not super familiar with buying diamonds. There are different styles. There are different shapes. There are different sizes. There are different settings. Like, do you know the difference between a round, a cushion, an oval, an emerald, a pear, a princess diamond? I don't. You know who does? The experts at Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. They are in the celebration business. If it's an engagement, if it's a promotion, if it's a big milestone, diamonds are things you keep, you cherish, you pass down. You want to make sure she's thrilled with it, gentlemen. And she'll be thrilled with it every time she looks at her hand. Lee Michaels makes sure that happens every single time. Don't be intimidated. It's the thing they pride themselves on most at Lee Michaels. When you walk in, they're going to make you feel comfortable. No matter your budget, you're going to get the Lee Michaels experience every single time. They want to be your jeweler for life. lmfj.com, lmfj.com. Corporate near Bocage, Mall of Louisiana. 9 locations in all. New Orleans, Lafayette, Shreveport. They've got you. Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. lmfj.com, lmfj.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. We are in about 20 minutes going to talk to our buddy Jonathan Pixley from Matchpoint. If you missed it today, news out of the LHSAA is that they are allowing Louisiana high school athletes to do NIL deals now and maintain eligibility. Previously, if you had done an NIL deal or if you'd done some type of endorsement or accepted money, you would be ineligible. So now they're allowing NIL opportunities for high school athletes. I did get a text from Glenn to the text line who said 15, 16-year-olds making thousands of dollars is not good. Hope they don't get paid, then turn lazy. I think you're missing the point. the very clear question herein is going to be NIL inducements in recruiting. That's obviously the issue. Will these collectives go to prominent high school athletes and start enticing them when they're younger, when they're in high school as a sophomore? You see Arch Manning as a high school freshman, you go do a deal with him as a freshman to induce him. That's the big question with this. We'll talk about it with Pixley coming up here in about 20 minutes from right now. Okay, will the Saints draft a quarterback outside of round one? We're talking about it next.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by Hudco Roofing and HudcoRoofing.com. Got a call from a customer who said, I'm calling you because someone came to my house and knocked on my door. And I don't want someone knocking on my door. That was such a turnoff to this person that they called us because they heard me say that. At Hudco, we'll never come knock on your door because we don't want people knocking on our door. You've got options, and when you need help, we're here and we'd love to help. Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. Ignore the door knockers. Trust a company that's been in Louisiana for more than 20 years, that has Louisiana employees, Louisiana ownership, uses Louisiana products, and will be here in Louisiana for years to come. That's us. That's Hudco Roofing. Learn more at HudcoRoofing.com, HudcoRoofing.com. Do business with someone you know. HudcoRoofing.com.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust poll of the day. Vote daily inside, off the bench, Hunt and Hill, the early line. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the poll of the day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Service Master Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact Service Master Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. Service Master Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli? I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
If you're in an accident, a car accident, a slip and fall where you're injured, you need to call an attorney. The defendant insurance company, it's their goal to close the case as quickly as possible and pay out the least amount of money as possible. That's why it's important to call an attorney and call the law offices of O.C. Brown.
At the law office of O.C. Brown, we're a family-owned firm. We want to be your law firm for a lifetime.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Auctioner.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Doug Brown. Round one of the Masters is live right now on ESPN and ESPN Plus. Korea's Sung Jae Im holds the lead at 5 under by 1 over Dustin Johnson and Cameron Smith. Tiger Woods had 3 birdies today. He shot a 1 under 71. Right now, he's just 4 shots off the lead. It's also opening day in Major League Baseball. The first final of the year, the Cubs at Wrigley beat the Brewers 5-4 thanks to Ian Happ's 2-run double in the 7th. The Blue Jays open at home tomorrow night against the Rangers. And ESPN's Buster Olney says Toronto will have an advantage this year.
If you're a fringe player, you're getting vaccinated. So if teams are missing players, unvaccinated players in those series, they're going to be major stars. And that is going to be a competitive advantage for the Blue Jays with every single player vaccinated.
Buster Olney on Greeny. Unvaccinated players are not allowed to play in Toronto. The Dodgers are the favorites at Caesars Sportsbook to win the World Series at 5-1, followed by the Blue Jays at 9-1. The defending champion Braves are 11-1.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. And now, a no-frills ad brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Here it is. You could save big when you bundle your home and auto with Progressive. That's it. See? Just a good old-fashioned, straightforward ad. See if you could save at 1-800-PROGRESSIVE or Progressive.com.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios.
That's right.
Hour 3 off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR. Presented by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. I'm Matt.
This is Shaq O'Neal, and I hate Matt.
Paul O'Neal.
They're chanting Paul O'Neal's name.
Yusu. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. 5 o'clock quitting time. Glad you are driving home with us. All right, we'll talk some NIL with Jonathan Pixley, Match Point, here less than 15 minutes from right now. LHSAA allowing NIL deals now for high school athletes. What does it mean, short-term, long-term? We'll get into all that with Pixley here in about 15 minutes from right now. 3 weeks from today. 3 weeks from today. 3 weeks from today, the NFL draft gets underway. First round of the draft, I cannot be more fired up. Saints have 2 picks in round 1. We will see local players like Derek Stingley hear his name called early in the draft, no doubt. There is going to be so much intrigue with what the Saints do with the 16th and 19th picks in this year's draft. 2 picks in the top 20. The Saints are clearly in need of several spots on this roster of supplementing at left tackle, at wide receiver, very likely at safety, perhaps a starting defensive lineman. A lot of options for New Orleans that they could use those 2 picks to supplement. Or potentially, we've talked about taking a quarterback with one of those picks or packaging those 2 to move up and take up a quarterback if there is one they covet in this draft. The thing we haven't really considered much is where the Saints might take a quarterback if it's outside of round 1. And I think the reason's pretty obvious. Saints drafted a project quarterback last year in Ian Book. So why would they do that again this year? ESPN has 2 draft analysts, Jordan Reed and Matt Miller, that have joined the draft staff along with Mel and Todd. And they had an interesting project that they published today, which was projecting every quarterback taken in the draft. Not just a first-round mock, where every quarterback will go in this draft round 1 through 7. So from who they think will be the first quarterback off the board, hint, they both think that it will be Malik Willis as the first quarterback off the board, not Kenny Pickett, to who might be the late round picks that could come off the board in round 7. Cole Kelly from Southeastern. They're from Lafayette Christian, who started his career at, I'm sorry, not at Lafayette Christian. He was from the Lafayette area. But went to Arkansas and then found his way to Southeastern and had a nice career there for the Lions. Shout out, Paulie. But both Reed and Miller have the Saints taking a quarterback. And neither has the Saints taking a quarterback in round 1. And this is where it got a little interesting for me, because I think the Saints have some significant needs in this draft, and they are positioned with 3 picks in the top 50 to address them. And it also happens to be a year where I'm not bullish on any of these quarterbacks. It's not a year where you have a Burrow or a Trevor Lawrence or go back to a Cam Newton or whoever you think is that guy that's a no doubt number 1 overall pick in the draft, that everybody, if they had that pick, that's the guy they're taking. That guy isn't in this draft, or guys aren't in this draft. There's a lot of conversation about who might even be worthy of a first-round draft pick, which is why I'm not really excited about the prospects of the Saints using a first-round pick on a quarterback in this year's draft. If you're not bullish on that player, don't do it. You've got a quarterback that you're committed to financially for at least 2 years. You have time to make that decision about the future of the quarterback position. It doesn't have to be right now. But the first projection it was from Jordan Reed, does have the Saints taking a quarterback in round 2 with the 49th overall pick, and he projects the Saints to take Sam Howell out of North Carolina. And he writes he's gone back and forth on his evaluation of Howell more than any other quarterback in the class. Had a promising 2020, obviously, set up huge expectations for this year, and it just didn't go well for Sam Howell in 2021, and we've seen his draft stock fall. Do you remember if we went back and look at way too early mock drafts, like post-draft a year ago or beginning of this college football season, there were 2 players that everyone had at the top of their mock drafts. And it was Sam Howell and Spencer Rattler. It was like, which one of these quarterbacks is going to be the first overall pick? Let me remind you how the season went for Sam Howell and Spencer Rattler. Sam Howell saw his yardage, completion percentage, quarterback rating, touchdowns all decrease this year. And Spencer Rattler got benched and then transferred. He's now at South Carolina. This has a Matt Barkley feel to it. If Matt Barkley had come out from Southern Cal after his junior year, dude would have been the number 1 pick in the draft. Went back to Southern Cal, didn't have a great year, became a mid-round pick, and now he's just sort of bounced around the league. He had an opportunity to make money, passed on it, and it cost him in every way that you can. So the idea of taking Sam Howell at 49 is appealing. A guy that at his best could be a really good prospect, and there's far less risk taking him at 49. But a guy that's 6'1", 220 pounds, who's when he kind of became the target, he's actually listed just under 6'1". He saw all of his numbers drop. That's not very appealing. Matt Miller also has the Saints taking a quarterback, but not in round 1 and not in round 2. He has the Saints taking a quarterback in round 3, and it's Carson Strong out of Nevada. He writes, taking a late 3rd-round flyer on a quarterback is smart drafting. Strong has experience and passing traits the teams love. Previous knee injury makes his evaluation difficult. He has the arm talent to become an NFL starter if he can remain healthy. Saints' downfield game would benefit, especially if they can add another receiver with one of their first 2-round picks. I like Carson Strong. I'm not telling you that I'm bullish on Carson Strong and that I think Carson Strong is ultimately going to be an all-pro caliber quarterback, a guy that could lead the Saints or some team to a championship. I don't know that. I don't know if I'd go there. But in the way that Sam Howell is descending, right, that he regressed this year, Carson Strong has ascended over 4 years in college. Didn't play in 2018. 2019 threw for 2,300 yards and 2,800 yards, and this year almost 4,200 yards. His completion percentage went from 63% to 70% each of the last 2 years on the number. His touchdowns went from 11 to 27 to 36. His quarterback rating went from 121 to 160 to 158.6, so basically steady there as well. That's a guy that continued to grow and progress and ascend. And oh, by the way, he's 6'4", 215, and has the big arm. As a prospect, I like Carson Strong. But are you really going to find your franchise in round 3? You know what the Saints have found in round 3? Alvin Kamara, Trey Hendrickson, Jimmy Graham, Alex Anzalone, Teron Armstead. They found not only starters, but they found all pros in round 3. You know where they found Garrett Grayson? Quarterback they took out of Colorado State? Round 3. That didn't work out so great. I mean, there are examples of Russell Wilson in round 3 or Dak in round 4 where you not only get a starter, but an all-pro level quarterback in the middle rounds. There are examples. They're just few and far between. The best quarterbacks in the league, Mahomes, Josh Allen, Burrow, Justin Herbert, Lamar Jackson, Kyler Murray, Mac Jones, all first-round picks. Even the older Aaron Rodgers, Matt Stafford, Matt Ryan, all first-round picks. I mean, the exception is Tom Brady. The exception is Russ in round 3. The exception is Dak in round 4. The rule is you're going to find an elite quarterback at the top half of round 1. That's what we find more often. So could Carson Strong be that guy? I'll tell you this. I'd be more bullish on Carson Strong as an NFL quarterback than I am on Sam Howell. So I'd much rather Carson Strong in round 3 than Sam Howell in round 2. But honestly, I'm not okay with any of them. If it's me. You took a flyer on a quarterback last year in round 4, in Ian Book. And there's no way you're keeping 4 quarterbacks on your roster. You're not going to keep Jameis and Andy Dalton and Ian Book and whoever you signed this year. It was a stretch last year to keep 3 on your active roster. There's no way in heck you're keeping 4. So are you punting on Ian Book? Is the Ian Book era over as a potential player on this team? Because that's essentially what you're saying if you take a flyer on another guy this year. Eventually, the Saints are going to have to be pot committed to somebody. Maybe it's Jameis. Maybe it's a draft pick. It doesn't feel like it's in this draft. It's probably going to be in next year's draft, depending on how Jameis does it. Or maybe Jameis has a 5,000-yard season and you sign him to a 5-year deal and you don't worry about quarterback for the next half decade. But for me, it's wasted draft capital if you take a flyer on another quarterback in a mid-round this year. But we will start to get those answers 3 weeks from today. All right, that's further review. Glad you're with us here. We'll knock out a quick break. We'll come back, and I want to talk about the story which a lot of people on social have been talking about all day, and that's LHSAA is allowing NIL deals for high school athletes in the state now. And you can retain or maintain your eligibility. What does all that mean? Jonathan Pixley from Matchpoint, he's going to join us next. It's AFR.
AFR.
Better coverage for less money. Tell you every day. Stop overpaying to be underinsured. We all have to have insurance. Too many of us are overpaying and underinsured. Don't do that. Man, I tell you all the time, you got Liberty Mutual, what are you waiting on? Unfortunately, they're like the chief culprit. They get you in really cheap, and then they jack up your price and your rates before you even know it. You're overpaying. So if you have Liberty Mutual and you haven't shopped or had someone shop for you independently, you're probably overpaying. So get working. Or actually, let Insurance Network of Louisiana get working for you. 293-0450, 293-0450, or lainsurance.net. Here's one, Liberty Mutual customer named Brad who switched to Insurance Network of Louisiana. They lowered his hurricane deductible from $9,000 to $5,000 and saved him $2,700 a year. Better coverage, save $2,700 a year. Stop overpaying to be underinsured. 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Bayou Ford has 0.9% for 60 months on new Ford F-150 plus $1,000 bonus cash. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. And right now, get $1,000 bonus cash plus 0.9% APR for 60 months on new 2021 Ford F-150. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Le posso offrire un caffè? Andiamo insieme da me, non c'è.
Call Mr. Electric today for electrical repairs, upgrades, and installations.
And this year, 2022, it's time to finally treat yourself. Bring your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service. You want the latest and greatest marine technology? You want to go to the place that has not one, but two NMEA certified techs. Family owned and operated by the Sherman family for 30 years. Front to Back is the answer in Baton Rouge for all of your custom boat needs. So head to fronttobackboatservice.com or find them on Facebook, Front to Back Boat Service.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, and online at theantiagingclinics.com. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
So the LHSAA got a lot of attention today when they approved NIL deals for high school students. You can now, if you're a high school athlete, you can do an NIL deal and retain your eligibility. Very pleased to have Jonathan Pixley join us on the show because he has a unique perspective, or I guess maybe not altogether unique, but certainly the rare perspective of not only being very intertwined with the NIL space, being that he's there with Matchpoint, but also the fact that he was a high school basketball coach as well. So he knows the space from both angles. Jonathan, thanks for the time, man. How are you?
I'm doing great. I appreciate you having me on, Matt.
No, it's always our pleasure, and we appreciate the time. And certainly, this is something where your perspective is going to lend us a lot of benefit. So, let me just start with, as you understand it, and tell me if I'm just oversimplifying it, that the LHSA is going to allow high school athletes to do NIL deals. What's your reaction when you see the news today?
Probably twofold. First of all, I'm not a huge fan of it, and I know that sounds crazy considering I am in the NIL business now. But man, maybe I'm just not far enough removed from being a high school coach and just imagining what that would be like. But I'm just not a huge fan of that, because it's like, where does it stop at that point, right? So, but nonetheless, having said that, I do believe that there are kids who will be able to capitalize on it and monetize it. So the second angle is, I don't think it's going to matter that much. And the reason why I say I think there are kids, I think there are a very, very select few kids that will be able to take, any type of significant advantage of this at the high school level, right? You've seen at the collegiate level, you've seen deals done of all sizes with all different types of athletes from a status standpoint, but I just don't see that in the high school level. And I guess my biggest concern is, what does it do to, I guess, the way high schools approach trying to attract kids? Is there any angle there for high schools to try to bring kids? Now, granted, I know high schools won't be able to pay kids, but I mean, you've seen these collectives form all over the country for these different universities. I mean, I guess I went to worst case scenario today thinking, and my wife, who still was a high school volleyball coach, brought it up. She's like, I mean, what if that happens? I'm like, well, anything can happen at this point. So we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. But I really, at this point, don't anticipate much other than a splash of their ability to do it right now, because I just don't think many kids will be able to take advantage of it.
Okay, so I think there's a couple of angles here. And I want to throw these out to you to get your reaction. One would be, I think, fear, concern, however you want to term it, that some are going to have is, okay, doesn't this just open the door for a college athletic department's collective to approach a high school athlete as a freshman, a sophomore, whenever they start to emerge as a high school athlete, to then approach them with an incentive to ultimately commit to and sign with that school?
So legally, they're not supposed to be able to, regardless of whether or not you're allowed to do it in high school or not, because inducement is not supposed to be allowed, from a recruiting standpoint with NIL. However, that being said, you and I and everybody else out there knows that's definitely going to be done now. And so, again, that's a major issue. So, in my opinion, you can't in one hand tell college coaching staffs and universities that, okay, you can't use NIL to directly recruit an athlete. In other words, you can't set up deals for them. But then allow high school athletes to take part in NIL. I don't think it goes, I mean, sure, there can be a degree of separation, but I just don't see it happening.
Man, I just look at A&M and I'm like, of course, the class that they just signed was completely rooted in NIL inducements. I mean, that just, it feels like that's an undeniable part of where this is going to go. What about someone like, all right, so different hat, match point, brokering deals hat. What about someone like Arch Manning? What would his value be as a high school student at Newman right now?
Well, I mean, obviously he's one of those elite kids that I'm talking about, right? That he'll have the ability to monetize it. And it also comes down to, Matt, I mean, I think what you have to take into account is, yes, okay, so Arch Manning is going to be, is a super highly recruited kid. So from a recruiting standpoint, even though what you just mentioned with A&M, yeah, absolutely, that's what happened, okay? And they can say what they want to about that, but I believe, but it's going on all over the country. But with a kid like Arch, if it's not for recruiting purposes, okay, what it then comes down to is, do businesses want to use him to advertise and promote their business? And there probably are New Orleans businesses, right, that would love to use him to promote their business because of his name, his last name, especially in the city of New Orleans. For other kids, is that something that they want to do? Like, the reason I say I just don't see a lot of kids, take advantage of it is, unless you're, a relative who owns a restaurant or does something like that, like, what benefit does a local business gain from doing, big dollar deals with high school athletes, right? I could see, now, here's one angle I can see. is from a team standpoint. I could see local businesses sponsoring or doing partnerships with entire teams. That's pretty cool, right? That would be something I could see happening. But just individual kids, I don't know. We'll see. And I know I sound kind of negative about it right now, and I'm not trying to. It's kind of the stance I've taken on it since the beginning, and now that the rule has changed, my stance really hadn't changed.
That's an interesting thing about like community schools, for example. Like just in this area, a Zachary, a Denham Springs, a Central that have great community support. You could see like an entire team being sponsored by a local business in that community.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a possibility for sure. You know, I think because they're going to get behind those teams, right? I mean, think about what was the movie, Friday Night Lights, right?
Yeah.
In that little podunk in Texas, right?
Right,
I mean,
right.
You can see, you know, they shut down all the shops for the games on Friday nights, right? So you could see something like that happening in those towns. But again, I mean, what does that equate to? What is that? Is that $50 a kid? Is that, what is it? What does it come out to?
All right. I'm going to look at another angle, and this is sort of going back to your leaning into your high school coaching perspective. And Jonathan Pixley is our guest. He's the VP of operations at an NIL strategy at Matchpoint. What about, like, could this potentially signal the end of some competitive high school sports? What I mean is, what's to stop a shoe company from going to all of the elite high school players and saying, stop playing high school basketball. Or in baseball as well. And we're just going to have this elite circuit. We're going to pay you to do this instead of playing for your high school.
Yeah, I think we've been trending that way anyhow prior to this.
So is this just an accelerant?
I believe it could be. Yeah. I mean, I can't, I can't see how it would be a deterrent from that, right? I mean, it would, if anything, it's going to speed it up. And therein lies the problem, right, with, I guess, the off season. And look, I coached AAU for years, ran my own AAU program, and I believe in it, and I believe in travel baseball, and I believe in travel soccer, and I believe in all those things, because the reality of the situation, as you well know, is the off season. That's when college coaches can get out and recruit, and that's what they're going to watch. And so, I think it's been trending that way for a long time, and I think this probably will accelerate that. Will it ever get there? I don't think so, but I think it will put the focus on it even more than it already is.
What do you think is do you have a feeling on what the future of high school sports is? Because, look, I mean, Jonathan, the reality is, no matter if you played, who you cheer for, we all went to school somewhere, right? Like, we all went to school somewhere, and we all have an interest in where we went, or if our kids play somewhere, right? I mean, there may not be vast fan bases of like one program, but everybody cheers for somebody because everybody went somewhere. So everyone has an interest in this at some level.
Yeah, I mean, the future of high school sports, in my opinion, is going to be largely dependent on the level of coaching that occurs at the high school level. And so I think in certain sports, in certain areas of our state, just to begin with, and I mean, I'm sure it's this way everywhere else, there are certain areas of our state where the sport of basketball, so I obviously was very close to that, so I can speak on that, where coaching is done at a very high level. And then there are other areas of our state where it is not done at a very high level. And you can see that whenever it comes down to playoff basketball and the results every single year. And so, but I think in order to keep kids interested in competing for their schools, which, I mean, that sounds crazy that we're even talking about the fact that might not be the case anymore, right? Yeah. Because of what we're all used to. But in order to keep them interested in that and make it that way, I think coaches are going to have to do an even better job than they're doing right now of teaching the game, of building school spirit, of building program spirit, and all of those things, to make them understand how meaningful it really is. Because, look, you can go and right off I've done both, right? I've coached in the state championship game, and I've coached on the Nike circuit, and I can tell you 100% that the environment in a state championship game is a lot better than the environment at a Nike circuit game, right? Because you got students there, you got fans there, they're going crazy. It's you're playing for something, right? Other than just the individual exposure that you would get on an AAU circuit. My wife runs, probably the most successful club volleyball program in the state, and one of them in the region, and that's something that her kids are dealing with too, right? She hears it all the time. Is why I can't wait to get the club. I can't wait to get the club. In other words, get away from high school and get the club, right? And it should be they want to play high school ball and then get the club, yes, but they shouldn't be running from their high school programs.
Yeah, man, it's interesting. It almost feels like a day where high school sports had to self-inflict a wound. And I think every state is ultimately going to do this, and it's inevitable. Hey, man, we're going to follow it. I appreciate your perspective. I certainly appreciate your knowledge from both ends and your passion about it. As this progresses, we'll keep in touch, man. Thank you for making time today.
Absolutely. Thank you, man. Appreciate it, man.
That is Jonathan Pixley, the vice president at Matchpoint. You've heard us talk to Pixley and a lot of the folks associated with Matchpoint. It's just because it's a Baton Rouge company that has scaled very quickly nationally in the NIL space. They were just very progressive with a lot of forethought, saw it coming, built out their app, their platform, which matches athletes and businesses to do NIL deals together. And they've done they now have their representation in all 50 states. It's incredible what they've done in such a relatively short amount of time, and they're right here. So it's a great resource for us to lean on. And Pixley, having been both a head coach at the varsity level in high school and a high level, you heard him say there, AAU, and then also now on the NIL side of it, it's interesting. But it does feel like what the LHSAA did today is at least 30% of state high school associations already have a position on this, or are expected to have a position in place by July 1. 30%. And it's inevitable that 100% will eventually. But make no mistake, this opens the door, certainly for an Arch Manning to make money. But what it really does is it further provides cover for what Texas A&M just did, which is to have your collective give offer sheets to high school athletes as an inducement in recruiting earlier in the process, instead of waiting until December of their senior year, right before they sign, doing so as a sophomore. When 247 Sports puts out their first rankings for the class of 2026, why wouldn't you go look at who the top 5 prospects are and then go offer them an NIL deal and say, we want you at our school. Here's what we can offer. And we'll do it all through high school, and then when you're through college, we'll structure a 7-year deal with you. You know what I mean? It's crazy, but it feels like that's an inevitability here with that. All right, it's after further review. If you missed it, Jay Johnson was with us in hour one. We'll revisit some of what the coach had to say as Tigers are getting ready to play Mississippi State 3-game series in Starkville. We had Jay Johnson. We had Alex Lange, made the opening day roster for the Detroit Tigers. That was in hour one. Steve Robertson, who covers the Bulldogs, was with us in hour two. You just heard Pixley there. We appreciate it all. If you missed anything, AFR On Demand is presented by Breck Golf. Book your tee time today at golf.breck.org, golf.breck.org. You can catch us on demand at 1045ESPN.com or on the Watch 1045 ESPN YouTube channel. You can watch the entire show live or on demand whenever you want at the Watch 1045 ESPN YouTube channel. If you're watching on YouTube, do us a solid, smash that like button and subscribe. Hit the bell. You'll be notified whenever we go live on any of our shows here at 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge. All right, let me knock out a quick break. Let's hear some of what Jay Johnson had to say. Matt McMahon has announced his staff and an update on Zion Williamson. That's all still to come. We are short on time, so let's get to it. It's AFR.
AFR.
We're brought to you by Pluckers. Thursday is an awesome night to get by Pluckers because Thursday is all-you-can-eat boneless wings. You got a great night tonight. It is opening day of Major League Baseball, and you've got the Pelicans tonight at home against Portland. You want to watch all the action, get by Pluckers. Of course, the Masters is going on. Maybe you're playing hooky tomorrow. More Major League Baseball, round 2 of the Masters, NBA in full swing. My goodness, what more could you possibly want? Watch it all at Pluckers. wall-to-wall TVs at both locations, Nicholson just south of campus and Bluebonnet right in front of the Mall of Louisiana. As a matter of fact, I was at the Bluebonnet location last week, and they have put in a new TV wall. It's like this 8-foot screen that you can go watch all of your sports action there. And remember, Thursday is all-you-can-eat boneless buffalo bites. So buffalo bites, they're breaded, tossed in your favorite wing sauce, and served up piping hot. You can eat as many of them as you want all night long at Pluckers, where if you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Bayou Ford has 0% for 60 months on new Ford F-150s plus $1,000 bonus cash. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. And right now, get $1,000 bonus cash plus 0% APR for 60 months on new 2021 Ford F-150. Shop now at BayouFord.com. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
ITI's got all these programs. Once I started and learned everything about the school, it was worth it.
The challenges that ITI presented me with, it allowed me to build myself up.
All because of ITI, I actually was able to get a job within 3 months before graduation in my field.
Get the hands-on training you need for the job you've always wanted. With so many companies hiring right now, it's the perfect time to come to ITI Technical College. Enroll today for a better life.
Each year, Guarantee Media hosts a radiothon to benefit dreams come true. And this year, we need your help more than ever.
We've interviewed these incredible kids, and each and every one of their stories brings tears to our eyes.
To have a dream granted means more to these families than you'll ever know.
And it wouldn't be possible without your help.
Dreams Come True has been hit hard by the events of the past year.
So we ask for your support in helping this incredible cause.
Our Dreams Come True radiothon is powered by the Baton Rouge Clinic. Visit GuaranteeMedia.com to pledge your support today.
Hey, look what I found!
The motivation I needed to live healthy. My new favorite sport.
I found my groove.
I found I'm part fish.
My second win when I needed it most.
I found more than a gym.
The affordable childcare this mom needed. Time for myself. We found our why.
Have you found yours?
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, and online at theantiagingclinics.com. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
LSU basketball coach Matt McMahon introduced his new coaching staff today. I don't have a ton of time to delve into this right now. We'll probably get to more of it tomorrow. But the full-time assistants, Casey Long, Ronnie Hamilton, and Cody Toppert. Ronnie Hamilton comes over from Kermit Davis's staff at Ole Miss. Tim Kaine had already been announced as the chief of staff. Tasman Mitchell, who was on Will Wade's staff, stays on staff as special assistant to the head coach. Ronrico White will be the director of player development. Jeff Moore, director of recruiting. Mike Chapman is the video coordinator, and Brian Puckett also on staff as the strength and conditioning coach. So Matt McMahon has introduced his first staff here as the LSU basketball coach. Again, the full-time assistants, Casey Long, Ronnie Hamilton, and Cody Toppert. It's after further review. Jimmy's going to be with us here for Otter Locks in less than 10 minutes from right now. And there is a little bit of update also on Zion. We talked about it last hour. And the thing that I pointed to was the fact that you have the NBA announced 2 Pelicans games coming up. This is the Saturday-Sunday games against Memphis and Golden State, respectively, have been picked up for nationally televised games. The point that I made is it kind of feels like you wouldn't do that unless if it was a possibility of Zion playing. And this coming obviously after Zion's stepfather did the interview with Jordy where he said he expects Zion to play this year. Well, Willie Green in his pre-game media availability today, this is a tweet from Andrew Lopez. Willie Green says Zion has progressed to controlled scrimmages, which is 5-on-5 full court work against coaches and some of the back end of the roster. Still no further update on his playing status. So Zion is making progress. He's no longer just shooting and doing between the leg dunks. He's doing 5-on-5 scrimmages right now, again, against coaches and guys at the back end of the roster. It's not with the guys who are currently playing, but it's more progress toward a return to him playing. We'll keep you posted. That certainly doesn't sound like a guy that's ready to go, run the floor in a legit play for keeps NBA game when you're just doing controlled scrimmages against coaches. But it's progress, and we know this team is going to be in the play-in and potentially an opening round best of 7. Could we see him? Maybe. When we know, we'll talk about it. We'll pass it along to you. All right, it is after further review. We're brought to you by DraftKings. DraftKings, the official sports book of the UFC. Got so many great deals right now for you at DraftKings. We told you about the deal that they were offering for Bryson DeChambeau with the Birdies. Now, that one has come and gone, but this weekend is UFC 273, and I got a new deal for you. Bet on any fighter on the card, UFC 273 this weekend. DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sports betting partner of the UFC. Bet on any fighter. Bet just $5 on any fighter. Regardless of the outcome, they'll give you $100 in free bets. They're basically just giving you $100 in free bets at the DraftKings Sportsbook. So, if you've been on the fence, you haven't jumped in yet, now is the time. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use the promo code Baton Rouge. Remember, you have to use the promo code when you make that deposit to unlock the promotion. So download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use the promo code Baton Rouge. Bet just $5 on any fight on the UFC 273 card this weekend, and you'll get $100 in free bets. It's at the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Take advantage of it now. DraftKings, the official sports betting partner of the UFC. Now the disclaimer. 21 and older, physically present in Louisiana. Availability varies by parish. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for full terms and conditions. Licensee partner Golden Nugget, Lake Charles. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-7-STOP. Jay Johnson was with us in hour 1. It was literally at the start of the show. They were about to start practicing, but he was good enough to jump on a phone call with us right at the start of the show. So if you want to go back and listen to the entirety of the interview, you can certainly do that. You can go back on the Watch 104.5 ESPN YouTube channel to the very beginning. You can see it there. The thing that everybody's concerned about most is defense. And Jay has continued to say, we're working on it. And they've tried everything, right? They've tried every lineup. You've seen all 3 catchers. You've seen Doty play second, short, and third. You've seen Thompson play short and second. You've seen Cranford in the lineup. You've seen Safford at second. You've seen Merrifield at third and at second. You've seen Berry and Gio and Wright. You've seen, they've tried. They have tried a lot of options. But when it said they're working on it, what do you mean specifically? This was, I think, the most detailed answer. It's for Musa, if you would. I think the most detailed answer he's given so far about what they are doing to try to get these guys to improve.
You work, and I'll take yesterday's practice, for instance. It's a fine line because Jordan started every game, Cade started every game, Jacob Berry started every game. And, they're going to have to be in condition to do this. They all want to be pro players, and you play 141 games in the minor league. But, balancing out, taking care of their body. But at the same time, we have to get reps right now because we have to improve. So what we try to do is map out what is the one tangible thing that we could do that can translate immediately, and that is work on making the routine play. And then take it a step further, what type of plays do we anticipate happening, pull side ground balls, with an aggressive offense, which that's what we're doing this week, and getting them in position with some of the defensive shifts and making plays out of the shift. So you blend that with what I would call some day one fundamentals of these guys have to get down, they have to play lower, they have to get their eyes close to the ball, and they have to follow their throw. So, they were gassed yesterday. It was a quiet bus ride. We worked hard for 2.5 hours, and that's just the way I'm going to do it until we get it right.
I love the commitment to it. He has recognized their issue. This is a staff. This is a pitching staff that has a good team ERA. They don't have great starting pitching. That's obvious, but they figured out ways to get outs. The problem is you're not making routine plays when you're pitching to contact to back up the pitchers. We could look to the Auburn game, and it's obvious, man. You have a ground ball to the right side with 2 outs, you got to make the play. You don't, 2 runs come home, it becomes a 6-run inning. You got to make plays. Saw it on the 2-run first inning where on Tuesday night against Grambling, where Grant Taylor gives up 4 hits, but really it was 1 hit and 3 misplays that were scored hits. Got to back them up. See if they can start to make the routine play. You make those fundamental plays, it's a great way to start that progress. And starts tomorrow. It's a big opportunity for LSU against Mississippi State again. This is a series LSU has dominated. They've won 12 of the last 14 series against Mississippi State. Go on the road and find a way to take 2 out of 3 this weekend against a team that's struggling through its own issues as well. All right, it's after further review. We'll knock out our final break of the show. When we come back, we'll have Otter Locks. How about the Otter? Went 5 for 5 a couple nights ago. He is feeling himself a little bit with these NBA picks, the Otter. So gave us 2 more NBA picks last night. We'll see what the Otter has for us. I know that on his show they went through a bevy of Masters picks. So unfortunately the Otter went 0 for 2 last night. So he did sort of regress a little bit to the mean. We'll see what he's got tonight. Otter Locks is next on AFR.
AFR. It's a raving fan shout-out. Presented by Darren James & Associates, brokered by eXp Realty.
And there are no shortage of raving fan shout-outs because nobody does more business than Darren James. And there's a reason, because of reviews like this, when you treat customers like this. A 5-star review that said, Darren and his team are so good at helping you with each step of the process of selling a home. They promise and they deliver. Go read the reviews about Darren James. He's got a raving fan page on Facebook. It's just people raving about Darren James and the level of service that he provides. Listen, at some point we're all going to go through it, the home buying or selling process. And the number one complaint to the National Association of Realtors, listed my home, never heard from him again. With Darren James, you'll never worry about that. Elite customer service that delivers results. 335-7666 or agent225.com.
Think real estate, think Darren James.
There it is, the extra mile. On the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further. Like vans customized for work or play. With safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
If you're in an accident, a car accident, a slip and fall where you're injured, you need to call an attorney. The defendant insurance company, it's their goal to close the case as quickly as possible and pay out the least amount of money as possible. That's why it's important to call an attorney and call the law office of O.C. Brown.
At the law office of O.C. Brown, we're a family-owned firm. We want to be your law firm for a lifetime.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's number.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, and online at theantiagingclinics.com. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Down the stretch we come, final segment on a Thursday edition of AFR. One thing left to do. Let's find out what we're betting on tonight. Time for Otter Locks.
Otter Locks, presented by Bocage Barbershop in Bocage Village, serving the Bocage, Goodwood, and Town Center area since 1959.
So we turn to the one and only, the incomparable and often incomprehensible, the Ott Father himself, Jimmy Ott. Otter, how are you?
Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned.
Hey, man.
I early called a game up 39, pardon me, in the middle of the third, laying 6. Of course, I wake up, roll over at night and see, why is this a loser? Let me go through this. Up 17 with 2.5 minutes to go. Up 39 with Chris Paul, with Crowder, with Booker, with Ayton, all of them on the bench.
I went to bed in the third quarter. I was like, hey, I'm not watching this. This is a rocking chair cover. I'm going to bed.
It sure was.
And then it wasn't.
That's just Gordy Rush's fault. Gordy Rush.
Well, I don't know why, but I'll blame Gordy for anything. So let's get back on the horse tonight, Otter. What are we looking at?
Oh, no. I'll pass the collusion on tonight, okay?
All right.
Hey, look, man. I mean, it's at the point where do you really just want to, are you into insanity? I mean, do you really want a nervous breakdown if you have one? How do you go have a 39-point lead and lose? I need a day off. But I got the collusion, man. You get some early picks on the ice tonight.
All right, let's do it.
He likes the Pittsburgh Penguins.
All right, Pitt.
Penguins are coming back. They're coming back to pretty small. I'm
looking at 105. Yeah.
Okay. And then the Montreal Canadiens, he calls them the Habs.
Mm-hmm.
Habs. So that's his 2 early picks. So, we I got Andy's about. Remember, we didn't call him with the picks last week, and then he comes back and they had those big lines. He did call us like $2 favorites. He gave us 5 last week, and then on the show at about 6:45, team was down 2-1. He says, "Jimmy, don't sweat it. They're dominating the game. It's just a matter of time. This team's played their 4th game in 6 days. They're traveling. They're getting into the legs. They're going to come back." So you tell me we're going to in-game this at plus 215? Yes, in-game it. He hit that as well. They outscored him 6. They outscored him 6. Down 2-1. They win 7-3.
I love it.
7-3.
Give it to me, Colucci. Let's go.
Yes,
the Penguins and the Habs. That's who Colucci man's got tonight.
I hate people at early color. I hate it.
But the first 5 favorites won and covered in the NBA last night. So they're up 40. I'm like, Chalk goes 6-0 in the NBA tonight because Gordy has instilled in me, hey, tweet, be active on social media, build the tribe. So there's my tribe.
Well,
all right, Gordy, thank you.
Well, the 5 for 5 a couple of nights ago more than made up for it. Otter, where are you tonight?
Gully Pearl Oyster Bar.
All right, man.
Masters winding down. Opening night in Major League Baseball. Lots going on.
Otter, we appreciate it. Have a great show.
All right, thank you.
All right, Game Time with Jimmy Ott follows us in Baton Rouge. If you're not in Baton Rouge, online at 1045ESPN.com or the Game Time with Jimmy Ott Facebook page. Muse, Paulie, appreciate y'all so much. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow at 3.
AFR.
As we get on down the road, we remind you about Relief Windows and reliefwindows.com, 288-8138, 288-8138, or reliefwindows.com. Windows, door, siding, Relief Windows, and reliefwindows.com. The thing that's most important to remind you about right now, there's always important stuff, and I'm super fired up to tell you about the new Relief Windows corporate office, which is coming on Airline Highway in Prairieville. You can see it if you're driving down Prairieville. You know where it is. You've seen it. They've even bought more space than they initially needed because they're growing at that rate. Just awesome to see. But remember, energy-efficient replacement windows. These windows will make your home more energy efficient and will lower your energy bills. It'll keep the temperature down coming through because they're energy efficient, and it'll remove those costly air leaks so your AC doesn't have to work as hard. It'll reduce your energy bills. 288-8138, 288-8138. Invest into your home with Relief Windows. Windows, door, siding, reliefwindows.com.
I've got that blue sky. I've got that sunshine.
Bayou Ford has 0.9% for 60 months on new Ford F-150 plus $1,000 bonus cash. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. And right now, get $1,000 bonus cash plus 0.9% APR for 60 months on new 2021 Ford F-150. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Before we begin any electrical work here, we perform a home safety check that begins at your electrical panel to make sure that you and your family are safe. For all your upgrades, installations, and repairs, call Mr. Electric.
ITI's got all these programs. Once I started and learned everything about the school, it was worth it.
The challenges that ITI presented me with, it allowed me to build myself up.
All because of ITI, I actually was able to get a job within 3 months before graduation in my field.
Get the hands-on training you need for the job you've always wanted. With so many companies hiring right now, it's the perfect time to come to ITI Technical College. Enroll today for a better life.
Each year, Guarantee Media hosts a radiothon to benefit dreams come true. And this year, we need your help more than ever.
We've interviewed these incredible kids, and each and every one of their stories brings tears to our eyes.
To have a dream granted means more to these families than you'll ever know.
And it wouldn't be possible without your help.
Dreams Come True has been hit hard by the events of the past year.
So we ask for your support in helping this incredible cause.
Our Dreams Come True radiothon is powered by the Baton Rouge Clinic. Visit GuaranteeMedia.com